it's time for it's not time for the show. It's time for the other show where I'm bad at video games.
It's time for the text adventure, right?
It's time for the multimedia interactive.
Look at this. We got a black screen with a, I don't know what that is. It's like a smiley face on its side or something. I don't know what that is.
Let's go ahead.
Dr. Fox, what is that?
Let's chop it up here and make sure we can get this in there. It looks like some sort of arcade.
Smiley face with a strange tall haircut that says Homeworld.
It's a mohawk. and he's kind of wincing just a little bit. Well, I wonder. Oh, I'm already in there, so I don't have to do that. So let's
Taking it back to 1993 with the DOS prompt.
This is about when I picked up the DOS prompt. I didn't go that far into it. My dad had made a batch file that you were able to. He listed all the games and shit on the computer end. It's just a menu. Just made an interactive menu.
I see.
That was how I got around before we ended up with Windows. All right, let's give this guy. The music worked fine last time when I booted it up, so it should be good. But I want to make sure. I see the MT32.
Now I should not be able to hear this, right?
I think you should be able to. Can you hear it on the screen?
Okay, well if it's on the stream, that's fine.
There's that, and this is the CD-ROM version. This is Dr. Cosmac's CD-ROM.
This is from my real CD-ROM that I own.
12, Outpost Foxtrot 7. Alarms go off and sleepy crewmen stumble to their duty stations. Duty. Scientists study sensor readouts with a sense of urgency. Something is making up faster than light transit jump into Earth's solar system. Seconds later, an enormous object blinks out of space just outside the orbit of the blue moon.
Tau space, that's like hyperspace, right?
The artifact is gigantic. It is more than 6 kilometers long and has a mass in excess of 3 million tons.
It does kind of have a certain sex toy appearance. Look at those polygons, man. Flying around. And this is pre-rendered too. This isn't even real-time 3D. This is a full motion video on the special CD version.
The artifact ignores all attempts at communication and holds position quietly and enigmatically. It seems to be waiting for something. When news of the artifact's appearance reaches Earth, the United Nations enters emergency session. The Earth's population watches and waits with complete fear. And then a ship. So, who is on board? They could be representatives of the organization that left humanity in high technology treasure trove when they vanished 500,000 years ago. Could be the Luigi's ancient enemies, a dead race roughly ass-ass who routinely... I missed that part.
Wipe out entire civilizations. Meanwhile,
August 15th, 2112, San Francisco. Sonic the Hedgehog races to the closest edge of panic. You ignore the hysteria and continue to enjoy your early
it's just so funny.
with $50 million bonus from your last mission to ensure a comfortable existence. You invested that money well, and you lead a quiet and prosperous life.
Don't worry, you don't need to know anything about the character's backstory.
But we do have
But-
money. Do you want to restore?
That's like, do you have a game that you've played? So no, we don't
No.
want to restore because we
No.
haven't played this yet.
This is a new world. New world.
So here we are. This is Gateway 2 Homeworld, based on the Gateway books by Frederick Pohl.
So these are based on books.
These are based on a series of books, the first of which, Gateway, won the Hugo Award in 1976 by a golden era science fiction author, Frederick Pohl.
See if I can bring that up.
tad there. So, fun fact, this and a copy of Commander Keen 4 were my consolation prize for not getting a Game Boy when I was a kid.
But you got Commander Keen.
But I got Commander Keen 4. So.
Are you excited for the new Commander Keen mobile click adventure?
I didn't even know they were still making Commander Keen stuff, to be totally honest. The last I heard of him, he was on the Game Boy Color. So, yeah, I don't know.
Game Boy.
So,
right.
so the way I think we'll do this is because I am already familiar with this game, having played through it many times with the hint book, which I have in my hand right now,
which
as a child.
Come in handy.
So I'm thinking I'll read the descriptions and stuff as the dungeon master, you know.
Okay.
And then you can ask me for hints after that.
All right.
And we can talk about shit.
So
here we are, living room. This is one of your primary residences, a 95th floor penthouse unit in the Bayside condo building in San Francisco. Living room of your condo is furnished in a clean, uncluttered way. A white sofa faces the ubiquitous PV console. PV, I believe that stands for piezo vision. It's like television, but it works with piezo electricity. Next to the PV is the smart building control unit that regulates everything from temperature to the resupply of your kitchen. The bedroom is to the southwest, and the foyer is to the southeast. You see a control unit, a PV console, and a wastebasket here. In the wastebasket, you see some trash.
Eat trash.
The trash does not look very appetizing, Dr.
Okay.
Fox. And frankly, I'm shocked that you try that as your very first input.
Gotta make sure.
Eat trash.
Eat
Well, you can try everything, but
Well, let's examine trash.
inside the wastebasket, you see crumpled balls of paper, dead stalks from your Drammen fern, and other paper and plastic refuse.
Gotta smoke up that fresh Drammen fern.
Yeah, it's all the rage in what year is this? 2050?
2115.
2115?
Just around the corner. This is almost. Is this cyberpunk? All right.
Kinda is in this iteration of it, actually. Although in 1976, I don't think Frederick Pohl was really thinking. I think it was a little bit pre-cyberpunk, but it was a filthy, futuristic universe.
Gotcha. Well, this looks clean. So I'm taking those are verbs on the left. That's just like probably like the most common on the left, but the middle one should be.
The middle one's all your nouns.
Okay, and then
So you've got verbs on the left, nouns on the right. You can see the list of verbs is much longer. You can scroll with it, but the nouns are all the things that you can interact with or look at.
So if I further examine the trash, do I get okay? Same thing.
It's like look and examine are basically the same thing. Also, you can do shortcuts. So like examine, you can just type the letter X.
Let's take the trash. Oh, and I get something.
It's your bill for Pacific Data Services for net access, $267.51. 2112. Okay. You snarl, wad the paper up, and throw it back in the trash. You might have $50 million in the bank, but $267.51 for PV service is still highway robbery. Are we there yet, Dr. Fox? I think some people are probably paying at least that much for their internet, right?
For that, and for piezo vision with 1,000 channels and garbage advertising around the clock. I would.
Yeah, you got a piezo vision in here too.
Yeah, I mean that's complete PV service, But yeah, that sounds about like an HBO package on top of internet.
It's a pretty swanky apartment. I love the limited palette art. They really make good use of by selecting a nice color palette.
Leather, make sure all of my leather is dithered in the future. So I can see the console. Maybe I want to turn on. It's not a TV. It's a P.
It's a piezo vision. It's explained in the books that the Hichi left a bunch of technology around on Venus, and one of the things they left that humans found was this type of technology that doesn't suffer from lag somehow. I forget how it works, but it's basically like a futuristic high-speed radio. I don't recall. It's called piezo vision.
All right,
So it's an old 2D flat screen model, devoid of the 3D tank and the virtual reality hookups. Oh, so you're like a future hipster. You've got the old 2-dimensional television in your apartment. You were specified the older model when you're having the place outfitted. You didn't want anything to do with the full immersion VR after your last mission as the Gateway prospect. Currently in its dormant state, displaying a tranquil aquarium scene.
Okay, well it's nice to know that in the future that I'm still just as much of a nerd that I would be now. That's fantastic. I don't want that full immersion VR. I don't.
Just give me the old 2D TV
Give me the old
or PV.
So I examined the console. So let's see what now I see that there's verbs underneath, but let me see. Activate TV console. Oh, and time's moving.
You idly scan through some of the 2,500 news, entertainment, education, and shopping channels available, and then try to make an outbound call. A message flashes on the screen. Outbound circuits are temporarily down. This PV node can receive only. Pacific Data Services apologizes for the inconvenience and asks for your patience while we investigate. The interactivity will be restored. The aquarium scene returns.
Aquarium scene returns. This is fantastic. After dark in the future. All right, I have to give me 1 second. I have to plug something in.
Plug it in, plug it in. Yeah. You got that socket filled. Is the node connected?
This is embarrassing. 1 second.
Oh boy. Well, at least the music's kind of catchy. Hey, what's this person doing in here?
Sorry about that. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so I saw that time went by, but I guess it's not going by. It goes by when I insert a command.
Yeah, usually one turn takes 1 minute of game time.
Okay.
Is how this works.
So the PA's eviction is down. Alright, so I guess I can move.
Yeah, your outbound circuits are down. You can't make any calls, unfortunately. Yeah, you can go southeast or southwest. I think one of them takes you to your bedroom and the other one goes out to the hall. So yeah, you're in the bedroom. This is the bedroom of your bachelor pad condominium. An old-fashioned queen-size bed occupies the middle of the room. 2 plain bedside tables sit on either side of the bed. The living room is to the northeast. On the bedside table, you see a matchbook. On the bed, you see a news fax.
Take matchbook.
You can also just do take everything, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it'll automatically try to take everything. But yeah, you want to take everything in these old adventure games. Good first instincts.
Good. All right. So examine facts.
You might want to try to read the facts.
Facts. Get more specific. Oh.
This is kind of lengthy sort of world building stuff. Phoenix sect demonstrations continue. Hundreds of thousands of devout Phoenix sect disciples continued their gatherings and demonstrations in urban centers all over the world. Police watched carefully as the disciples celebrated the arrival of the artifact and the imminent liberation of the human race. The time is close at hand, said Amari Tanjan, one of the sect faithful in a crowd in Istanbul. The assassins are coming for us. We will be purified. UFO death cult, huh?
Like it.
Okay, another story. UN emergency session drags on. The closed UN Security Council emergency session on the artifact is now in its 15th day. Details of what is being discussed are not known, although the president of the European Community made this short statement to SNN. I have no comment except to say that we continue to confer with NASA ESA scientists, Gateway Corporation representatives, and other experts on possible courses of action.
Alright, so everyone knows that something's coming, so we're not benevolent in that.
FBI accuses sect of causing Centodyne blast. The FBI has accused the Phoenix set of causing the explosion at Centadyne headquarters that destroyed the top 30 floors of the building and killed 1,421 people. Centadyne was targeted after it refused to yield to extortion demands. There is a clear pattern of systematic blackmail, murder, and extortion, said FBI Branch Chief Gregory Gillette. The sect is clearly involved and continues to use these activities to supplement their other fundraising efforts.
All right, so we've got radical extremist UFO death cult.
Apparently, yeah.
And they pulled a future 9/11, which we will not make any jokes about because it is too early, because it's not even 2112 yet.
FBI Branch Chief Gregory Gillette resigns under pressure. A tersely worded press release from the FBI announced the resignation of FBI Branch Chief Gregory Gillette. Sources inside the FBI say that the resignation is directly related to Gillette's investigation of the Phoenix. Gillette himself could not be reached for comment.
I guess Gillette couldn't cut it.
It's the best the FBI could get, I guess.
Man, it would be so weird if there were modern parallels to compare some of these outrageous scenes to.
Gateway Corporation expands role. The Gateway Corporation has taken over the NASA ESA manned space exploration program after intense lobbying of the UN. Santos Garcia, a media relations coordinator for the corporation, told SNN, "The artifact is the biggest thing to happen to us since the discovery of the assassins 10 years ago. We need a single coordinated response once our leaders at the UN decide what to do about the situation."
All right. So we know that there are killer aliens and it seems like nice aliens. And
there's two races of vanished aliens. The good aliens were like the Hichi, and then the bad aliens were the assassins.
Hichi. All right.
And the Hichi, yes. And so there's this corporation that there's this thing called Gateway, which is this asteroid filled with technology. And so Gateway Corporation is a big multinational corporation that owns this asteroid, and they own the rights to all this Hichi technology. Okay, another article. Phoenix sect attempts destruction of shield generator. A group of fanatics allegedly belonging to the Phoenix sect. I could skip this if you want. I mean, if you're not interested. Surrendered to authorities after attempting to destroy a cloaking system generator on Kaduna 3. In an operation that was described as brilliantly planned and executed, the self-proclaimed sect members stole a Hichi ship from Gateway, loaded a fusion weapon on board, and traveled to Kaduna 3. No damage was done to the generator, but the resulting explosion dug a crater nearly a kilometer.
Let's see how many more we've got here. Okay, that seems like that was the last.
Yeah, I guess that's the end of the fact.
Alright, so
The speaker on the PV console in the living room emits a series of chimes that you recognize as a priority override signal. You walk over to the PV. You walk over to the PV and wait for the message to come through. The underwater scene on the large screen blinks out and is replaced for a brief moment by the Pacific Data Services logo and the words Priority Override in flashing red. A female voice says, "Your regional PV character, Pacific Data Services, is interrupting your access to the net for an emergency communication, as authorized under FCC Regulation 2315-81. Stand by for an important message." Then a new image fades in, a man behind a huge desk sitting in a majestic office in one of the 304 Needle Towers in New York. See, it's the future. We got New York. With a chill, you recognize that you have seen this man before. He is a very senior executive at Gateway Enterprises, the largest and most powerful corporation in history. You met him once before on Gateway Station, when you were given the assignment that almost killed you. You were lucky to return from that mission, a dangerous adventure that brought you into contact with an assassin and earned you a cool $50 million. Now available from Legend Entertainment. Oh no, sorry. That was only in 1993. You can't get that game. The man has a slightly stressed expression on his face. He looks like he has just discovered that there was a mix-up in his dinner reservations. "Hello again," he says in a mild voice. "Long time no see. This is a one-way non-interactive communication. The outbound circuits in your PV are apparently not working."
It's called a message. He's leaving you a message.
He continues, "I'll cut right to the chase. We would like your help again." You start shaking your head. The man holds up his hands defensively as if he can sense your reaction. No, don't worry. This doesn't require any FTL travel, activation of planetary cloaking systems, or encounters with the assassins. This time, we just need a little of your time.
This time, you just need a little of my time.
This time, yeah. As you're probably aware, we have been working overtime on the situation created by the appearance of the artifact. We don't know if it is a Hichi starship, an assassin battlecruiser, or an asteroid with an FTL power plant. It's too far away to get any kind of visual on it. We suspect that it's a ship, but it's currently completely inert. It hasn't shown any sign of activity since its emergence from Tau space nearly 2.5 weeks ago. It might be waiting for us to make the first move. It might be waiting for reinforcements. Or it might not be waiting for anything at all. It could just be a damn piece of rock. Anyway, we've decided to act. The UN has authorized the corporation to send out one of our experimental pulse drive scout ships to meet up with the thing. On board the ship will be a designated ambassador from Earth. The ship is almost ready to go on a pad at Romeo Delta 2. The interesting part is that the Phoenix sect, a cult of crazy assassin-worshipping fanatics, has killed our first choice for ambassador. The sect believes that the artifact is an assassin ship, and they don't want us heathens visiting a vessel crewed by their gods. About 18 hours ago, a sect hit squad infiltrated one of our compounds and blew Madame Ambassador and themselves into tiny pieces. This is bad news because the mission was ready to go. Luckily, we have an alternate ready, and we want your help in preparing him for his trip.
I know all about that.
We have about a day to brief him for the flight. You need to tell him everything you've learned, everything you know about the Hichi and the assassins. A few hours with you is probably better preparation than the orientation we gave the first ambassador anyway. I've assumed, perhaps rashly, that you will help, you can leave right now, and that you will perform this service for free. I know your motivation in helping us with that other problem was more altruistic than financial anyway, and I think you have more money than you know what to do with. An air car will be arriving on the roof of your building within a couple of minutes to pick you up. Don't pack, this should only take a few hours. Thank you in advance for your help.
$50 million will probably only cover like 3 trips to McDonald's in the future.
Well, I'll just mention here that the mark of being really rich in the Gateway universe is that you have full medical insurance. The image of the executive disappears and the female voice says, "Your access to your PV has been restored. We apologize for the inconvenience." The fish reappear on the screen.
Take fish.
You can't. They're on the screen. They're not real fish.
Alright.
So you wait until the PV's return to its dormant condition, and then you return to the bedroom.
Taking everything.
You picked up the matchbook, you read the facts. Don't think there's anything else in the bedroom, really. Look at sculpture. Okay, one of the bedside tables is a hideous old modern sculpture, a gift from the British royal family. It's one of the ugliest things you've ever seen, but you don't dare throw it away.
Alright, so
Huh.
clicking is a little bit
You know, and I don't think I ever looked at that sculpture. Living room. You see a control unit, a PV console, and a wastebasket here. In the wastebasket, you see some trash.
So the control units was basically my AC.
It's your AC, but it also controls all the other like automated systems in your smart home. So like you've got like automatic kitchen stuff, and
it runs my clapper. Let's just go the other way out.
so now you're in the foyer, or the foyer. This is the foyer of your condominium. Because this is an exclusive development, you have your own elevator entrance. The elevator doors are set into the wall of the east, surrounded tastefully by reflective glass. The living room to your condo is to the northwest, and a hallway leads south. A small sign is mounted discreetly on the glass next to the elevator doors.
Read sign.
Warning! Do not use elevator during a fire or earthquake emergency. If the smart building control system detects such an emergency, the elevator will stop at the current floor and lock in place until the priority alert is canceled. In the event of an emergency, please use the stairs to reach the roof of the building for evacuation. Uh-oh, something's happening. The PV console in the living room chimes again. Sorry?
I hope it's not an earthquake.
The familiar female voice says, An individual who wants to keep his identity confidential is urgently requesting an audio-only collect call. Because your outbound circuits are temporarily down, Pacific Data Services has decided to forward the call.
So I have to pay?
But yeah, you're still gonna have to pay for it.
It's gonna cost me $50 million.
Well, they're never gonna turn down something where they can charge you, right? A throaty whisper comes over the PV speaker. Please listen very carefully. You're in great danger. A sect hit squad is on its way to your location. Pardon. God. Okay. Not gonna do that again. An ECM team has already disabled the outbound circuits of your PV and frozen the building elevators. When the hit squad arrives, they will reactivate the elevators and use them to reach your floor. They have instructions to kill you.
Good thing I read about that stairwell. Okay.
The only way out for you is via the stairs. You must find a way to keep the elevators down and use the stairs to get to the hit squad could be there any minute. You must hurry.
So I'm going to attempt to save my game after. Please heed this warning.
Yeah, please heed this warning. I'm an FBI agent operating undercover in a cell of the Phoenix set. I'm calling you on my own initiative. My request to get official approval to warn you were denied. I don't know why. Either you're considered expendable or the Bureau has been penetrated. Ooh. Anyway, good luck. We all owe you one. The speaker clicks and the female voice says, call terminated. So yeah, now might be a good time to save. Part 1, Escape. Oh look, there's all the games that go, those are all my saves that go through the entire game. Ignore all of that.
Sure. Okay. And so this is Act 1.
Yeah, sorry, I sent you all my save games.
That's not Davis.
Bye-bye.
Alright, so I need to move to the stairs. I guess that's to the east. Can I just...
Yeah. You can also just type N, S, W, or E. You don't have to type the whole word for those.
Well,
The elevator doors are closed, so it's not to the east. I think the stairs are to the south.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, now you're in the hallway. This is a hallway decorated in the same style as the elevator foyer. Door leading to an outside stairwell is set in glass enclosure that is a twin of the elevator entrance to the northwest. Sign is posted near the stairwell door.
Well, I want to read that sign, but I feel like I don't have time. Alright, so...
Well, that's why you saved the game.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Let's just read that sign. Let's read that sign.
Floor 95. Notice. For your safety and convenience, the stairwell door will be sealed off unless an emergency has been declared by the smart building system. In the unlikely event of such an emergency, the bolts securing this door will automatically release, and you should proceed immediately to the building roof for evacuation.
Well, okay, so the door's gonna be locked, right? If I try to go in... Oh, shit. Wasted time.
You went back to the elevator area. But yeah, the door is locked.
Haunted plants. Can I, hopefully, use matchbook with haunted plants?
Maybe try burn the potted plant?
Burn
I don't know if that'll work. I don't know if you can do that.
plant.
You take the last match from the matchbook. It flares into life as it comes through the matchbook. You hold the match up to the plant. It doesn't catch fire, but it smokes something awful, filling the condominium with putrid yellow fumes. The match stops burning as it becomes fouled and sapped. Meanwhile, the yellow smoke drifts lazily around the room, eventually reaching a hidden sensor, tripping the smart building fire alarm. A screeching howl fills the condominium, and a flat computerized voice says, "Attention, homeowner. The smart building system has detected a fire. Please evacuate immediately. Your score has just gone up by 10.
Woo!
You solved the first puzzle, Dr. Fox. Good for you." Wow, that's cool. I didn't know you could light the plants on fire. For the record, you could also have burned the trash in your condo, or you could have smashed the control unit. Would also work and produce some funny messages as well.
All right, so I guess I'm going to open stair door. All right, and I guess that's go up.
Yep. You bound into the stairwell and scramble up 5 flights of stairs to the building roof. When you swing open the external door to the roof, you are greeted by a burly man in a combined military force or CMF uniform. He takes you to the waiting air car.
All right, and I got more points.
And you got 10 more points just for opening that door and going through it. Oh, look at this. Full motion video. Look at this cyberpunk future. San Francisco, 2112. Do you want to read some of these titles, Dr. Fox?
Sure. The air car takes you south of San Francisco, following the Pacific coast. After a long ride at an altitude of 2,500 meters, the car begins a descent through a huge installation. I don't know if it's going to move or if I'm going to cue it. I'm going to tap a button. You recognize it by the cluster of launch pads and towering launch vehicles. This is Romeo Delta II, one of the Gateway Corporation's vast research and development centers. Romeo Delta II was built on what used to be Vandenberg Air Force Base. Romeo Delta II is enormous. Scattered over several square miles are CMF military outposts, labs, administration buildings, communication centers, and the launch facilities for the orbital transfer ships that do the hard work of lifting payloads to the waiting space stations. Woo!
It looks kind of like Canaveral. Oh, I was gonna say it looks like Cape Canaveral, except for the giant futuristic structures.
Don't worry, Elon's working on that.
It's similarly a marsh kind of environment.
Vandenberg Air Force Base. After a long glide down, the air cars lands near a multi-story bunker-like structure identified by a sign as Research Center Building 1.
Yeah, but it looked like a marsh.
You follow your client CMF escort to the Research Center. After a brisk walk through several laboratories, the CMF MP motions you into a conference room. Lab rats. You cool your heels for more than 2 hours before you are joined by a harried-looking woman. She moves over to the display screens on one side of the room. I'm Marie Claire, the kids earring lady, a Gateway Corporation senior citizen.
Kids earrings.
A Gateway Corporation senior scientist.
Senior citizen.
She's not that
She
old.
says as she waves her cane at you.
I'll give you some background info before you brief the ambassador.
She doesn't look that old. I think we're gonna get a close-up of her face in a minute.
A ship equipped with a fusion pulse drive is sitting on pad Tango 3. This
She looks kind of like an ex-girlfriend of mine, actually.
constant, good on you. A constant 1G. Gee.
1 gi.
One
A constant
gi.
one. It'll take 1 gi out of you per second.
Which means it is quite capable of reaching points outside the solar system in a relatively short time. This ship, called
Aquila. It's like means an eagle, I think, right?
is what the ambassador will use to rendezvous with the artifact. She continues. The trip to the artifact will take about 4 months. The ambassador will spend that time. She pluses a strange parking alarm is up in the laboratory outside.
A parking alarm?
Excited voices and the sound of running feet. Marie
Somebody's
frowns
backing up
against
their
the door
Escalade in the
with a
lab.
brush. Excuse me, something's up. Over her shoulder as she leaves. There we go. Dr. Potty. 20 minutes later, she's back. She looks terrified. She sits down across from you, her hands shaking. I'll make this quick, she says in a distressed voice. You came at a very bad time. this complex is under attack. We've been gassed. While you've been sitting in here, some kind of nerve agent has been released across Romeo Delta 2. Almost everybody is dead. I'm glad you could calmly come back down here and tell me that.
I love how even in 2112, the timeless chic of gigantic wire-rimmed glasses is still the signifier
It's a sign
for
of dominance.
No, it's the sign of a scientist.
We have been incredibly lucky. This part of the lab building is a positive pressure facility, which means it is temporarily resistant to gas. We don't have much longer, though. At some point, the gas will seep into the building.
Uh-oh.
I think the attackers are Phoenix Sect. We know they want the Aquila ship. They want to get to the artifact before anybody else. And the Aquila probe ship is the only human-built vessel capable of reaching points outside the solar system in under a year.
Such a goofy way.
It's in the pronunciation key. Check the index, your glossary index in the back of your
Are we
manual.
really gonna read everything in this game, Dr. Fox?
We have to. How else
I'm
will we
reconsidering that. I'm reconsidering that decision. But I guess it does make it more radio friendly.
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be radio friendly. But then everybody else is gonna have to. There's gonna be people like, well, what did it say? They didn't read it. They stopped reading it. So I guess we're gonna have to read everything in this game. Okay. Or at least we can try and sum it up. Auto launch authentication is the door to the conference room bursts open. A figure dressed all in black wearing a gas mask appears just inside the room. He's holding a radio and a gun. Okay, he means business. The gun snarls and flashes brightly. Marie is thrown out of her chair as she is struck by a cloud of steel. Flechettes.
Flechettes, dude. It's like fucking blade gun.
Blade gun. Knife
Like
gun.
it shoots little X-Acto blades at you.
They killed Dr. Hottie. Looking Glass, this
Yeah.
is Mock Turtle. Building 1 in Wonderland, Sector 1 is secure.
She didn't even make it out of the cutscene.
The last civvy is the guy the hit team was supposed to plug in Frisco. What to do with him? Alright. Looking Glass to Mock Turtle, waste the civvy, and then sit tight. Good work. Sorry about your men. The terrorist looks back at you, raises the gun, you flinch. As the gun explodes in an orange flash, it takes you a moment to realize that the flash was a shot. The gun literally exploded in the terrorist's hand as it was hit by a bullet from outside the room.
Crack shot.
The explosion is followed by 2 sharp cracks just outside the conference room. The black-suited attacker is spun around by the impact of high-velocity slugs, drops to the floor on the top of Marie. It's a dead doggy pile. Your combined military force escort pokes his head into the conference room and waves an assault rifle in the terrorist direction. You lose! He hisses at the terrorist body. All the Charlie's mics weren't down after all. You son of a bitch. He looks at you. Hey, buddy, it's a damn war zone out there. You better sit tight here. Hey, stay here with these dead people while the nerve gas moves around.
So here we are in the conference room. The laboratory conference room is a utilitarian area fitted with a conference table and display screens.
The conference room has rats in the wall. I love that.
White lab rats run tirelessly around a series of cages set into the wall. They're just there for artistic purposes. They don't really perform experiments on them. They're just like lab pets. So you see a radio, a dead terrorist, and a dead scientist. Table, you see a slip of paper. Dead terrorist is wearing a gas mask and a utility belt. On the utility belt, you see a hand grenade.
I think the right thing to do now is take everything.
Yes.
All right. I've taken the radio, a slip of paper, a gas mask. I'm not wearing it. I gingerly removed the hand grenade from the belt. Oh! Maybe I need to be careful when taking everything.
Shit's got serious. You just picked up a grenade.
Okay, yeah, and
But you handle it with caution. Gingerly.
And, the radio comes through.
Looking Glass, this is Cheshire Cat. The drones have achieved blanket coverage of Wonderland. Cameras aboard the RPVs are showing very high casualty rates. We estimate that 75% of the Charlie mics are down and that 95% of the civvies are down. All baseline objectives have been reached.
Alright, so they're gonna try and go for that rocket ship. Let's save the
Sounds
game.
like it.
And this is where we are.
You're in the labs, so I guess.
Labs, dead terror. Mist. Okay. Synth 4, atmosphere. Alright, so we've got that. So I do have a button for inventory. But everything there's
Yeah, if you type I, it will give you your
slip
inventory.
of paper.
On the slip of paper, you see the following notes and scribbles: authentication, Irie, the radio crackles. Cheshire Cat, this is Looking Glass. Good work. Launch the second wave when ready. Looking Glass, this is Cheshire Cat. The mobile launchers are fueling up the drones right now.
Okay, they're refueling. Okay, and these are all right. These are the terrorists talking to each other, and they haven't authenticated. They're moving forward with something. Cheshire Cat. This is Looking Glass. Looking Glass. This is Cheshire Cat. Okay, so I'm neither of those. This is Operation Wonderland. Mobile launchers are fueling up. Let me say use gas mask. Maybe wear gas mask.
Good idea. You put on the gas mask. The radio crackles. Looking Glass, this is Mad Hatter. Lab buildings in Wonderland Sector 2 are secure. All civvies are dead. Mad Hatter, this is Looking Glass. Good work. Sit tight. You hear an almost inaudible whimper, followed by a pitiful squeak. The lab rats in the cages set into the wall are in convulsions, their mouths foaming as colorless and odorless toxic gas filters into the room and destroys their nervous and respiratory systems. Just in time, Dr. Fox.
Hooray.
Just in time.
Hooray.
Well, I think it kills the mice first, and that's your clue that you better put that fucking gas mask on.
Don't want to get all foamy.
No, you don't want that nerve toxin.
If when I do save games, if I do the same name, it'll save over that part.
I think so.
Okay, just wanna. I'm big on that, especially in games like this. Unfortunately, that fucking Hitchhiker's game. So I'm just gonna call this Labs. Yeah. Okay.
This one's not quite. There's some parts like here you're timed because there's an operation going on that you can monitor on the radio. But in most situations in this game, you can take your time.
So I've got a grenade. Utility belt. I've got that. Maybe.
You took everything, so.
I've taken everything. Let me just go ahead and make sure where utility belt.
You don't have the utility. Yeah, I think you tried to take it off him, but it was like too firmly attached to the dead guy.
All right.
You don't need it. It's just a belt.
All right.
You got your blue coverall.
But everything else is here with me. All right.
The blue coverall is what your character is wearing.
Dead
by the
scientists, dead terrorists, gas mask, glass cages, dead rats in there. Grenade pen.
Yeah, that's when you want to activate the grenade. I don't know if you're familiar with grenades or if you've watched a movie with grenades, but it's like there's this pin, and then you pull the pin out, and that like primes it, and then you let the lever go, and that starts it going.
But that's still on the hand grenade, right? There's not like a grenade pen on the ground, and I'm holding an active
No.
Okay.
It's I believe it is. It's still in the grenade. You just carefully took the grenade off the guy.
The radio.
So you have a small explosive that you might use for something.
Did I read the paper?
Yeah, you did. It said that the authentication code was Irie, A-E-R-I.
All right. Well, I guess I've got a grenade, but there's gas in here, and it sounded like somebody was coming back. I'm going to let's move east.
Engineering lab. This is an engineering lab dedicated to finding uses for the mysterious Heechee artifacts brought back from distant worlds by Gateway prospectors. Part of the lab is dominated by a big old robot arm that's just swinging around spastically in all directions. There's a workbench and exits in multiple directions. Workbench has a little plaque on it. On the workbench, you see a tuning fork. Radio crackles. Flamingo leader to Looking Glass. Yes, sir, the first two tilt rotors didn't have any problems when they touched down south of the labs. They went in before all the Charlie Mikes were down. We should be okay. Those planes are maneuverable as hell.
Alright, so I guess they're flying drones outside. I'm in an engineering lab, and Alright, the conference room is to the west. We're moving that way. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, by the way, I should mention, there's not a whole lot of ways to make this game unwinnable, but this is one of the nastier ones. You really want to have that tuning fork, but you're not going to use it for like hours.
Alright.
many dozens of inputs.
I feel like it's safe to take everything, but that robot arm's moving around. But I will attempt to take everything.
Tuning fork. The tuning fork is just beyond the wildly flailing robot arm. You move into harm's way in your attempt to reach the tuning fork and wind up being clobbered by the claw at the end of the robot arm. You retreat outside the reach of the mechanical dervish. The radio crackles. Looking glass to flamingo leader. Don't get cocky.
Alright, they're talking. I've got minute by minute. Alright, so there's interface cable, metal housing, and that's the radio. That's the robot arm itself. Silver plaque, so I'm obviously not going to use the tuning fork. She gave me that much of a hint. It said there was something about a sign, maybe.
Well, you couldn't get the fork. Yeah, there's a little silver plaque.
All right.
On the workbench.
I don't see it listed. Silver plaque. Okay, there it is. Read silver plaque.
Plaque next to the tuning fork reads as follows: EG artifact number 193948, tuning fork. Special note: do not use in the presence of machinery with crystal components. High frequency sound emissions will crack certain types of crystal. The radio crackles. Looking glass. This is March Hare. Lab buildings in Wonderland Sector 3 are secure. All civvies are down.
Alright, interface cable. The silver plaque. That was for the tuning fork.
It's just a little description of the fork.
Robot arm radio. It's not a crystal. Is the tuning fork causing this thing to spaz out? Maybe, I don't know. Interface cable.
It's possible. You know, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe somebody hit the fork and it caused a problem with the robot arm. But I don't know. But either I can tell you that you will need this fork like well down the road in the game. It's the only really nasty one of those types of, if you didn't pick it up at the beginning, you're not going to have it at the end kind of thing. But it is in this game.
All right.
A black plastic cable leads away from the base of the robot arm to a metal housing not far away. The cable ends in a square data connector. Data connector is plugged into a socket on the metal housing. The radio crackles. Looking glass to March Hare. Good work. Sit tight.
All right. So now I kind of want to check the list over here. Can I?
You got a lot of verbs. It's not really going to help you. Because you've got pray. You could pray in this game.
Can I unplug? Because I don't want to.
Swallow. You could swallow the cable.
I could swallow the cable.
You could bite the cable.
Go down. Come on.
Why are you using this terrible interface? Cry. You can just cry.
I just cry. Cry.
You let out a few heaving sobs. Now don't you feel better? The radio crackles. Looking glass. This is Duchess. We've severed the main fiber optic line leading in and out of Romeo Delta 2. We've also cut the lines coming from all nearby town.
Alright, so they're cutting communications. So can I what if I pull the interface cable?
You hunker down on the floor, crawl forward far enough to grab the cable, and examine the black plastic carefully. After a moment of deliberation, while the arm slashes through the air overhead, you yank on the cable. The connector comes through the socket and the robot arm immediately shuts down. Your score has just gone up by 10! The radio crackles. How about the cellular communications tower? Save the game. You take the tuning fork from the lab workbench. The radio crackles. The towers were blown at the beginning of the operation. This entire area should be blacked out as far as commo goes.
Yeah, I should have just saved that. All right, there we go. So at least there we go. Labs, and I've got the tuning fork.
Now you've got the fork.
Now we got it. Hooray! It's all coming back to me. It's been a long time since I played these. Okay. There is nothing else really going on in here. Let me take a look at... Can I type map and look at map?
I think you have to click on it.
Damn.
I believe there may also be a way to change...
Let's go north?
Yeah, north.
Okay.
The other directions don't go anywhere, by the way. So north is really the only way you can go. Tram station. You walk down a long ramp that leads underground to the tram station. This is a familiar sight, a station platform for a maglev people mover. Blah, blah, blah about maglevs. Blah, blah, blah. Directly in front of you to the north is the maglev guideway for the tram. A red sign with an arrow pointing up identifies this station as Research Center. The exit to the engineering lab is to the south. The radio crackles. Looking Glass, White Rabbit, we have secured the National Guard compound at Castillo. All service personnel on duty are dead or incapacitated.
Alright, so got some dead guys all over. We're at the tram station. Railing, signs, slip of paper. That's what I had from earlier. Let's get the code on it.
Well, it's a tram station. Yeah, so.
Can I call a tram?
I think you just have to wait for them. I think if you wait for the tram. Wait, by the way, you can type wait, or you can type with just the letter Z.
Or just the letter Z?
Yeah. Okay, so wait. Time passes. The radio crackles. Good work, White Rabbit. Go to phase 2. But yeah, or just the letter Z would do the same thing. Time passes. The radio crackles. White Rabbit here. We're one step ahead of you. We have appropriated 5 National Guard vehicles from the camp of Castillo. They're standard troop carriers, ground effect vehicles capable of high-speed travel. We're rolling. ETA Wonderland Gate 1 in 25 minutes.
Alright. So it's... we're looking to have something done by 1 o'clock. Okay.
Well, Gate 1, so I guess they mean they're going to be at the complex in 25 minutes. Might take them a little longer.
Alright.
To get in.
I have to get a sense of time with it, like, you know, how much really can go by in a minute.
You got about half an hour, so about 30 moves.
Okay. So I guess I should just keep on waiting then for this tram.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can really do right now. Time passes, the radio crackles. Looking Glass, this is the Queen of Hearts. All Hedgehog units are rolling. We're a click behind the White Rabbit decoy vehicles. A computerized voice booms from the overhead speakers and echoes throughout the station. Attention, please. The tram will arrive at the station in 1 minute. Please stand back from the guideway. Thank you.
Hopefully I'm standing... Am I safely away from the guideway? I didn't just walk onto the tracks, did I?
I don't think you can.
Because it's listed
although that
there.
might be something fun to try at some point with this game. But no, I don't think I've ever been hit by the tram while playing this game.
Examine maglev guideway. You are standing on. Hey, look, there it is.
It's a raised metal and concrete guideway providing the second component of the tram vehicle support and propulsion system. It generates the repeller field that allows the tram to glide over a practically frictionless surface. The guideway enters a tunnel on either side of the tram station. Radio crackles. Looking Glass to all units. The operation has entered its most critical phase. Our ground forces are on their way to Wonderland. They will be in contact with the enemy in 20 minutes or so. Hail the new beginning. The tram pulls into the station and stops in front of you. A door on the side opens with a soft hiss.
All right. I'm gonna say in.
You enter the tram. Interior of the tram is pretty much what you would expect. A row of metal seats runs down each side, etc., etc. Scene would be perfectly innocuous if it weren't for the macabre presence of a corpse slumped in a forward seat. The dead passenger must have been caught by a chemical attack on the base. You see a dead passenger here. The radio crackles. A new Earth. Hail the new beginning. You hear an obnoxious two-tone warning bell from a speaker over the tram door.
Alright, well, yeah, let's examine that dead passenger. Nice to meet you, buddy. How you doing?
A man is slumped in one of the tram seats, obviously dead. His head lolls against the seat, and his arm hangs out into the aisle. The gas must have caught him on his way between tram stations. He has no destination now. He just keeps riding the tram around its circular track. Around and around. Pretty morbid. The radio crackles. Looking Glass, this is Cheshire Cat. The second wave of drone aircraft is on its way. Things are not looking good. Hail the new beginning.
Things are looking good.
Things are looking good. Sorry. A harsh electronic voice from speakers inside the tram says, "Stop, do not enter, the doors are closing now." Moments later, the tram door slides shut and the vehicle jerks forward. It accelerates smoothly as it pulls away from the station.
Alright, so I take it I'm safely in the tram.
You are in the tram, yes, and it is moving along the track. And also, saving doesn't cost you any time. So.
I checked on the last couple. I was making sure of that. I was going to make sure I didn't jump ahead like 10 minutes for saving. man, just memories
Also,
of
if you
games fucking me over.
If you make a typo, you can sometimes use oops to replace a word and say what you meant to say, and it won't also cost you time. So
Okay.
if we get to that, I'll
if
show
it
you how that
happens,
works.
it happens. All right, so we got a terminal on the tram. We're moving on the tram, right?
You're waiting. You're just riding the tram. Yep.
Let's read tram monitor.
Monitor on the stand next to the front of the tram is displaying this text. Current location, in transit. Next stop, mission control. The radio crackles. Griffin leader to Looking Glass. Griffin ground attack aircraft are airborne. ETA Wonderland 10 minutes. Make your lists and check them twice. We're carrying some heavy ordnance. The tram hurtles along the track.
All right, so I'm moving to mission control.
Yep.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be going, though. So hopefully... All right, I guess... Just, what'd you say, Z? You want to pull this grenade pen?
Time passes. The radio crackles. Looking Glass to all units. We've been monitoring the Charlie Mike comm traffic. They're disorganized and confused as hell, but that doesn't mean that they aren't dangerous. Stay awake. The tram begins decelerating.
All right. Let's just examine that tram interior. Just tell me about it.
The interior of the tram is pretty much what you... this is just another description that I already read.
Okay. Hey ho.
Hey ho, Dad. The radio crackles. Hey ho, Daddy-o. You guys are good. This is the best organized operation I've seen in years. This is Looking Glass. Who are you? What unit? The tram loses speed as it pulls in the next station. The door on the side opens with a soft hiss as soon as it comes to a stop. And I should mention here that you have one turn to get out, or the tram will go to the next station.
All right. So the door is open. Okay.
The door is open. It's stopped at the station. It's about to leave.
Well, let's go ahead and save at tram mission control. I'm a game saver.
Save abuse is totally acceptable.
Out. I'm going to exit the tram.
So you're at the tram station for mission control. This is one of 3 tram stations located on the Romeo Delta base. Directly in front of you to the north is the guideway. Yep, identifies as mission control. The radio crackles. I'm American Bravo Company. I don't mean to break commo discipline, but I thought I'd tell you how impressed I was. You hear an obnoxious 2-tone warning bell from a speaker over the tram door.
All right,
So yeah, I guess you have 2 turns before the tram leaves.
All right, so let's go ahead and go south.
Mission control. This is a large room filled with complicated consoles, screens, and instruments of every description. Although it looks like the nerve center of launch and space operations, it's currently eerily quiet. Just like real mission control. You ever visited that, Dr. Fox? It's always empty. Lights flash and screens blink, but there isn't anybody left alive to pay any attention. The room is filled with bodies. 2 of the dead bodies are nearby. One is wearing the uniform of a mission specialist, and the other is dressed as a technician. They're slumped in their chairs. Immediately in front of you is a console with a keyboard and a screen. A radio crackles. Queen of Hearts, this is Looking Glass. Find the man in Bravo Company who broke commo discipline and shoot him. Do it now.
Okay. So they gonna go kill that guy.
Well, he was fucking around on the radio.
Oh, there's a badge. Let's go ahead and take everything.
White badge taken.
All right,
The radio crackles. Looking Glass to all units. Maintain commo discipline.
All right, let's see here. Overall ceiling light, console chair, control console. Oh man, just don't. What is there that I could do here? Should I go back to the tram? Obviously, there's 3 stops. I'm gonna have to go back to the tram and ride up to the next ride. But I'm glad I have this badge now. Control console. Let's go ahead and examine control console. See if maybe there's something I can do here.
You look around at the bewildering variety of screens, consoles, and controls. Finally, you select the console in front of you, lean in towards the screen, and put your fingers on the corresponding keyboard. The system comes to life.
More.
Please enter your spec code.
Oh, man. Well, if these guys locked it, what was it? Irie?
No, that was the code for auto launch of the rocket. The system regrets the code and denies you access. The radio crackles. Flamingo 3 to Flamingo Leader. I'm over the Wonderland perimeter. My plane has been acquired by a missile seeker. I repeat, Charlie Mike is a Zulu missile lock-on. Oh crap, they're launching. Lane, chaff, evasive maneuvers. The missile is tracking. It's off the port side. Oh.
Alright, so it sounds like reinforcements are showing up. Let's look at the white badge.
On the badge is a picture of the dead specialist and the following text. Gateway Enterprises mission specialist, named Adairo Kassan, spec code A552. Radio crackles. Flamingo Leader to Looking Glass. Flamingo 3 is down. I have to assume all 20 footman commandos went with it. I think you have to examine the console. I think using it doesn't work for some reason.
Alright, 8552.
You look around at bewildering blah 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 blah. Okay. Enter your spec code. A552. Got it! Gateway Enterprises, Romeo Delta 2 Launch Facility, Mission Control Center. Welcome to the Mycon system. Notified this system is classified Alpha 1 and used as restricted mission specialist with a Mycon certification.
That's why they
Press
printed the password on a card.
Well, to be fair, it was clipped to his shirt. Press any key to access active missions.
Okay, which one's the any key?
So you got a bunch of different missions here. Daedalus, Chimera, Tycho Brahe, Aquila, Atlas.
Alright, let's go over to Aquila!
Display mission summary, special information. Got a bunch of different options here.
I can initiate the auto launch sequence. Huh. I know what it's for. It's to go to the thing. The special information is that it's made of love. Execute ship systems check. Yeah, check it.
Engineering nominal, life support nominal, auto nav system standing by, pulse drive engines nominal, booster engines standing by, launch control standing by. Systems check passed.
I would hope that from mission control that tram will take me to a ship. And I don't know. It just I mean, it
you
moves
might
down.
not be wrong.
Initiate auto launch sequence. So systems are good on the jigger. So
You're gonna make the rocket go up. Please enter your authentication code.
I hope it's the same password twice.
No, cannot authenticate. Auto launch procedure not initiated.
What,
It's the other password, Dr. Fox.
the other password.
It's
Okay.
the one that Marie Claire gave you. Remember that?
Oh god damn it! Was I supposed to be writing stuff down?
Well, you have a slip of paper in your inventory. The game does that for you. Authentication, IRE.
Okay.
On the slip of paper, you see the following.
There we go.
Radio crackles, Looking Glass to Mad Hatter, March Hare, and Mock Turtle. Flamingo 3 went down. As you know, Flamingo 3 was carrying the Alice assault team.
Alright, let's do this. Let's examine the control console. And, what is it? God, it was 8552. I gotta get a piece of paper out so I can play this game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. Blah, misuse or negligence can lead to damage to life and property. Initiate auto launch. Authentication verified for Aquila auto launch procedure. Mycon now turning over launch control to procedure. Aquila launch control. All systems nominal. Mission Aquila is go. The 30-minute countdown clock is starting now.
Alright.
You got 30 minutes. You gotta get your ass into that rocket.
Alright, well, let's... I guess we have...
The radio crack. Oh, your score has just gone up by 25. The radio crackles. All units, this is Looking Glass. We've got a big problem. Our ELINT is picking up all kinds of electronic and mechanical activity inside the launch area. Somebody inside Wonderland just initiated an auto launch for Alice. A gentle female voice speaks over the installation PA system. This is Aquila Launch Control. Attention, all Romeo Delta personnel. An automatic launch procedure has been initiated. This installation is now in a launch mode. Condition Charlie is now in effect through all installation facilities. T-minus 29 minutes.
Alright, so I guess, let's go out.
Tram station. Radio crackles. March Hare to Looking Glass. What is an auto launch? Is it as bad as it sounds? Will Alice lift off right under our noses?
Okay, let's go ahead and save. We are
Radio crackles. This is Looking Glass. Somebody, we think a Charlie, Mike, or Sivney, logged into the main computers inside Mission Control and initiated a computer-controlled automatic launch sequence. The countdown proceeds as it's supposed to. Alice will lift off automatically in 30 minutes or so. This is actually what we intended to do after the tech team arrived.
All right.
Gentle female voice speaks. Onboard computers pass level 3 systems check. Navigation, engineering, life support, and pulse drive propulsion systems operational. T-minus 27 minutes and counting.
What else? Everything else? I've got a grenade. That's all I've got, and I guess there's. I mean, can you hide?
You can run, but you can't hide.
Okay.
The radio crackles. Mad Hatter to Looking Glass. This could ruin our whole day.
Now, is that slip of paper, is that something she gave me, or is it like a slip of paper that's going to update for me throughout the game?
It'll update for you throughout the game.
Okay, that's handy.
As a matter of fact, anything that's an important code will automatically be written on that. But you may find it necessary to use an actual slip of paper for certain things.
Yeah,
just because you can't look at the slip of paper while you're doing certain things.
I got a slip of paper. I'm gonna need to get a pen. All right, I guess let's do this. I'll pray.
You could try it. You kneel and say a few inspiring words. Now don't you feel better? The radio crackles. Looking Glass here. We're gonna have to get to Mission Controller Alice before Alice actually lifts off. Use the tram system. It's the only way you're gonna make it in time.
Well, hopefully I'll be on the tram ahead of them.
Hopefully.
And there's only one tram station. It says Mission Control forward. Okay.
Well, that means up. That means you're at Mission Control.
Examine. What was it? What was I just looking at? Examine blue coverall.
This one-piece blue coverall covers your entire body with the exception of your hands and head. The radio crackles. Mad Hatter here, ready to move out. A gentle female voice speaks over the PA system. This is Aquila Launch Control. Hydrogen and liquid oxygen are being transferred aboard Probe Ship Booster 1 by the automatic fueling system. D-minus 24 minutes. You can see a metal railing far above the station platform. The radio crackles. This is March Hare. My men are ready to go. Computerized voice booms from the overhead speakers. Attention please, the tram will arrive at the station in 1 minute. Please stand back from the guideway. Thank you.
So in about 23 minutes we're going to launch. And hopefully no one's going to get out of this tram and shoot me.
I don't think so. I think you get one loop of the tram. Time passes. The radio crackles. Looking Glass here. The tram station in your sector is under the lab held by Mock Turtle. Mock Turtle reported his objective is secure. Get over there right now. And you got T-minus 22 minutes for the launch. Tramples in the station.
Hey, it's our buddy.
March Hare here. I'm worried about the time factor. The tram station is under Lab Building 1. It's quite a hop over there. You hear an obnoxious two-tone warning bell. Current location, Mission Control. Next stop, launch pad.
Alright.
This is Looking Glass. We've got them. Our ELN shows the countdown is halted at 22 minutes. Alex is low on liquid oxygen. It'll take them at least 10 minutes to fuel up. We got plenty of time.
No, it's locks. They have tubes of smoked salmon that they eat in
God.
space. We have to
Well,
go. We have to go to the commissary and get the locks. We have to loop around. It's okay. We've got 20 minutes. Do not enter. The doors are closing now. Okay. So we're doing all right. Let's pull that grenade pin.
You gonna pull the pin? Alright.
Alright. And I guess,
Time passes. Mad Hatter to Looking Glass. I'm on my way. ETA tram station 15 minutes, give or take a couple minutes. ETA Alice 20 minutes, give or take a few. Tram hurdles along the track.
alright, so they're gonna be right behind me.
Yeah, they'll be on the next tram. Time passes. The radio crackles. March Hare to Looking Glass. I'm moving out now. I'm headed for the tram station. Can't call my ETA with any degree of certainty. Say between 15 and 30 minutes. Tram begins decelerating.
Wait.
Mad Hatter to March Hare. Have you heard from Mock Turtle? Familiar My voice says, secure the launch control, holding at T-minus 22 minutes. Liquid oxygen levels in booster 2 below operational limits.
All right.
Tram loses speed as it pulls in the next station. The door opens. You exit the tram.
All right, and I guess
Arrow pointing up identifies this station as launch pad. The exit to the launch pad is south. Radio crackles. Mad Hatter to March Hare. Or March Hare to Mad Hatter. Negative on Mock Turtle. You hear an obnoxious two-tone warning bell from the speaker. You navigate through a Brobdingnagian forest of gigantic gantry structures until you locate the correct launch pad. You find it by the sign attached to a huge structural girder, Pad T3. It's very tall. Mechanical room. This is a mechanical room used for troubleshooting and backup manual control of the probe ship launch systems. The room is dominated by the components of the fuel transfer system, which include 3 heavy pipes, color-coded red, yellow, and blue, and a complex console used for fault isolation and problem resolution. An elevator is set into the wall to the west. The elevator doors are open. Above the elevator doors is an arrow pointing up and the stenciled words, to ship. You see a console, a yellow pipe, a red pipe, and a blue pipe here. The radio crackles. What the hell happened to him? Hello, Mock Turtle.
Alright, so just to make sure, so this is pipes. So it was saying that the fuel was under where it needed to be. Are these fuel pipes? Let's see here. Examine console.
The fuel transfer system console rises out of the floor next to the forest of fuel pipes. On the console, you see a screen, a keypad, lights, indicators, and a lever. The screen is lit up with text. Radio crackles. This is March Hare. We're going to have to assume that the Charlie Mike or Civvy that kicked off the auto launch got Mock Turtle. That means that this radio frequency is compromised.
Alright, so they're probably going to change their radio. We know that they're coming, though. Well, I mean, there's a lever. There's all these pipes. A screen. Read screen.
You look at the screen on the fuel system console. Okay. Pad Tango 3, fuel transfer system troubleshooting. Press any key for option.
Any.
Fueling status, diagnostic, recommended action. Okay, you got some stuff.
We got some stuff. Now is time gonna pass for everything I do in here?
No, it's not part of the main.
All right, so the clock's not up. All right, so let's check.
The clock's not running.
Fuel full, liquid oxygen.
Oh yeah, booster 2 liquid oxygen is empty, so there's a problem with the liquid oxygen on booster 2.
Okay.
Fuel transfer system was taken offline after fault was detected during the fueling of booster 2, tank 2. Diagnostic should be run to determine the nature of the fault.
Okay, let's run the diagnostic.
Fault location, control system in mechanical room. Nature of fault, flow sensor failure. LOX fuel transfer subsystem, sensor failed during LOX fueling procedure. Possible consequences, fuel overpressure, pipe rupture, vehicle damage, explosion hazard, fault criticality level 1.
Okay. Recommended action.
Flow sensor fault LOX transfer subsystem. Recommended action, procedure IFS 392.13.02 paragraph 1. Background. Dynamic flow sensors are attached to the exterior of the fuel transfer pipes in the Pad Tango 3 mechanical. These sensors monitor the pressure, temperature, and rate of flow for the liquids inside the fuel pipes. This information is used by the automatic fuel transfer system to control the fueling process.
Oh man.
Because of extreme fuel pressures and temperatures, these sensors are external. They operate by monitoring particle reflection from emitted beam. The sensors are compact modular units. They can be easily removed, transported, and replaced once the electromechanical locks are released.
Once the locks are released.
Repair. The malfunctioning flow sensor on the LOX transfer subsystem is coated with a blue stripe. It should be removed and replaced with a new Model 4220 flow sensor procured from Base Logistics. The estimated repair time with component on hand, 3 minutes. Level of expertise required, minimum.
From Base Logistics.
The electromechanical locks holding all fuel flow sensors in place were released when the system fault was detected. Work can proceed immediately.
All right.
radio crackles. Looking glass here. All units, listen up. Those with multiple frequency radios go to Frequency Hotel on my mark. Mad Hatter and March Hare, you have crippled field radios. You will maintain radio silence and you have reached Alice. I will give you instructions on how to kill the auto launch at that point. Looking glass out. Familiar female voice and tones. T-minus 22 minutes. Oxygen levels in booster 2 below operational limits.
Alright. Holding at T-minus 22. Oxygen levels in booster 2 remain below. So it's going to launch, but I've got 22 minutes to fix this thing and get in there and also not get killed.
Yeah.
So it's possible. So base logistics. Am I going to have to travel somewhere to go get this part? Because I don't see anything here. System controls. Yellow pipe, yellow sensor. Blue pipe, blue sensor. I can use my blue coverall as a pipe.
Well, the problem is with the blue sensor, as the diagnostic told you.
But I need to get a part for it.
It needs a new sensor.
All right. Damn. I'm thinking out loud here, and the other two are working, right?
Yes.
So I can't like take a sensor from one and plug it into the other because it needs the red and the yellow ones.
No, it's done fueling those other things.
There's elevator doors.
It doesn't need those other sensors anymore.
I can go west, or I can go up, down, or in. Do I ride the tram, or is there something here that I can do? So let me try going down. In fact, let's go ahead and save. So we're at pipes. Move down. I'm back at the tram station.
It's only going to take you back to the lab and mission control.
All right, but so the lab wouldn't have anything that I need.
You already got everything.
I got everything that would have been at the lab. All right.
You have everything. I can tell you have everything that you need.
Okay. Well, okay. So just for a check then, so restore, right? Pipes.
Should have taken you 2 minutes.
Correct. All right. So down, in, and up. There's a lever. So go in. Oh, there's an elevator.
You enter the elevator. It senses your presence, and the door says shut. The elevator begins moving up. Ride lasts for a few moments, and the elevator opens. You step out on the gantry platform. You're standing on a platform that's 250 meters above the ground. Directly in front of you is the smooth side of the probe ship. On each side of the probe ship, you can see Romeo Delta II installation spread to the horizon. A thin ribbon of concrete catches your eye. It's the tram guideway, far below you to the southwest. The radio crackles. Hey, Charlie Mike, or are you a civvy? You listening on our radio? If you are, listen closely. You're a dead man. We'll be seeing you real soon now.
All right. So they said they were gonna change that over. Can I turn radio dial? Try set radio dial to 1. Oh, what am I set to now?
I don't know.
Oh man. I can't remember what channel they said they were going to go to. So I'm on the gantry platform.
Yep, you're looking at the installation
and the ship is here.
The tram guideway is down there. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get on the ship. I want to fix the thing, don't I?
Yep, you need to. You have. There's 2 things you need to do right now. You need to fix the ship fueling up, and you need to stop the terrorists from getting to you.
Come on. Mechanical room. I'm in the mechanical room, right? So.
You want a hint?
Please.
The problem is this is from the specific hints. These are like the really specific ones before you get to the answer. The The problem is a faulty sensor on the blue pipe in the mechanical room.
I've got that much.
That's the hint.
That's the hint.
That's the really specific hint.
So something's wrong with the blue pipe. It was saying that it needs to be replaced with something from somewhere else. But everywhere I've gone at this point,
One of the sensors is bad and it needs to be replaced.
what do I replace the sensor with?
Another sensor.
And where do I get another sensor?
Well, there's 3 of them right in front of you.
I know. Well, I thought earlier I thought I said that it was still using those.
No, it's not though.
It's not? Okay, so let's...
Because it's finished fueling up the other stuff. It just needs that one pipe.
Well, we should probably just take the red sensor then.
Attach the red fuel flow sensor from the red pipe. T-minus 22 minutes. Oxygen levels below operational limits.
Look, it took it there. All right, and... all right, so now I gotta remove blue sensor.
Attach the blue fuel flow sensor from the blue pipe.
Let's try. Yeah, maybe use red sensor with blue pipe.
You need to put red sensor on blue pipe, maybe?
Put red sensor on blue pipe.
You did it. Your score's just gone up by 10.
Was it a screen or was it a console? So read console.
Fuel system offline. All system repairs modifications must wait until the current launch operations.
Use system controls.
Try pulling the lever. Pull the lever to the online position. A few moments later, you hear the throbbing of the fuel pumps as they draw liquid oxygen. Fueling procedure is completed after several seconds. Your score is just going up by 25. Until launch countdown has been restarted, T-minus 22 minutes. All systems are now nominal at T-minus 22 minutes and counting. Okay, so you just got two more things you gotta do. You gotta stop it, and then you gotta get your ass into the...
So I gotta fuel it up and then.
Well, it's fueled up. It's just fueled it up. You did it.
All right. Is there anything else I need to do before I leave? Then I thought that's what I heard you just say.
Well, you gotta stop those terrorists from coming to kill you.
Huh. I do, huh?
Yeah, they were. Didn't you hear it? It was on the radio. He said he's coming to get you real soon.
I saw those tracks. What if I go down and then
T-minus 21 minutes and counting.
pull grenade pin?
Close your eyes and pull on the grenade pin. There's a great deal more resistance than you expected, and you give it a firm yank. The pin gives way suddenly, flying out of your hand and landing out of sight with a metallic clink. You now have 4 minutes before the grenade detonates with a force equivalent to half a ton of TNT.
All right.
Attention please, the tram will arrive at the station in 1 minute. Please stand back from the guideway, thank you.
Well, I've got 4 minutes and they'll be here in 1, so I guess I might as well start moving up.
You have 3 minutes until the grenade goes off. By the way, you're still holding the grenade in your hand.
Well, let's go back to pipes. God damn! I thought it said I had thrown it. Okay, so
No, you just took the pin out.
I took the pin out, but it was still holding it. Okay. Pull grenade pin.
You
All
pull
right.
the pin.
I've pulled the pin. I'm going to
Tram will arrive in 1 minute.
throw grenade at maglev guideway.
You drop the grenade on the maglev guideway. It bounces off the guideway and lands back at your feet. You pick it up and pitch it into the tunnel to one side of the station. To your amazement and frustration, the grenade bounces off something just inside the tunnel and rolls back out into the station. The tram pulls into the station and stops in front of you. A door on the side opens with a soft hiss. You have 3 minutes until the grenade goes off.
Oh, better run.
You find your way back to the mechanical room. You have 2 minutes until the grenade goes off. You enter the gantry elevator and ride up to the top of the gantry tower. A squad of men in black boils out of the elevator. The squad leader is talking into his radio. Wait, what? You blew it up. Oh, it didn't blow up in time. Yeah, you took too long.
Oh, man.
He nods at his men. They're carrying a veritable arsenal of weapons, and they all fire at once. You're thrown off a platform by a hail of bullets.
No.
Yeah, you might have to go back and restore an earlier save. Blow up the tram.
Way, really?
Blow up the tram a little sooner.
Head back to, I guess it was a tram launch pad. Good thing I'm spamming those saves.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll see here.
You can just drop the grenade here right now.
I could do it here and now. Yeah. All right. So pull grenade pin. All right. Throw grenade at maglev guy.
You could just drop it, actually.
Just making sure. All right, we 3 minutes till the grenade goes off. All right, let's go up. Mechanical room.
Yep.
Everything should be off, right? And we pull the lever to activate it.
You haven't swapped the sensors.
I haven't swapped the sensors, but everything should be the same, right? So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
if I, okay. All right, so remove red sensor. Remove blue.
You have 1 minute until the grenade goes off. You detach the blue sensor. You hear a distant rumble as the grenade detonates far below. Your score just gone up by 50.
Okay, and place red sensor on blue pipe.
Detach the sensor to the pipe. Your score has gone up by 10.
Lever.
Scores have gone up by 25. Kilo launch control countdown has been restarted at T-minus 22 minutes. All systems are now nominal at T-minus 22 minutes and counting.
Pipes. Well, if I've got a minute, then I at least want to see, did anything change? I want to look.
You set down the blue fuel sensor before leaving the mechanical room. It's much too heavy to be carrying around. The ramp to the tram station is blocked by debris from the grenade explosion.
Alright, let's go up.
Hell of a grenade.
Alright, and we're on the gantry. Let's move in.
Looking glass to March Hare. Confirmed tram system unusable. March Hare to Looking Glass. Yup, this tram is Tango uniform. It isn't working. It's down. We're hosed. You're in the aft section of the probe ship. A Spartan metal cabin dominated by a cryogenic suspension capsule bolted to the far wall. Across from the capsule is the hull door through which you entered the ship. Mounted on the wall next to the door is a small sign and a red button. Above the cryo sleep capsule is a medikit cabinet. Rungs embedded in the side of the ship lead up to the flight deck.
Alright, so the cryo sleep, a med cabinet here, flight deck's up. Now, so it's a read sign.
Warning, this is not an airlock. Upon activation of door mechanism, cabin air will be pumped out and replaced with outside atmosphere. Cabin temperature, pressure, and atmospheric composition will be equalized with the environment outside the ship's hull. The radio crackles. Queen of Hearts to Looking Glass. We aren't going to get there any sooner either. Charlie Mikes are putting up a hell of a fight. The Hedgehogs are behind schedule.
So let me push button then. It's not going to suck all the air out. It's just going to build an atmosphere.
The door slides shut. You hear a brief whine while the air inside the probe ship is cycled out and replaced by air from the internal tanks, followed by a pleasant chime. Radio crackles. Mad Hatter here. Yeah, the tram's down hard. Without the tram, we're at least an hour away from Alice on foot. Female voice speaks over the system. T-minus 17 minutes and counting. This is the probe ship flight deck. It looks more like the cockpit of a sophisticated airplane than a spacecraft, with two contoured seats facing towards a series of consoles, dials, switches, indicators, lights, and controls of every description. You can see out of the front of the ship through thick crystal viewports. Above the viewports is a bank of monitors. To the rear of the ship is the cabin. The radio crackles. Looking Glass here. Pull out. This operation has gone to hell. Follow the withdrawal plan and pull out.
Alright, I guess sit in the command chair, yeah.
Sit on or
Sit,
in?
sit in command chair.
You're now on the command chair. The radio crackles. The leader isn't going to be happy.
I'm in the command. Oh, sorry. I was reading into both
T
sides.
minus 15 minutes.
All right. Cockpit windows, command chair, co-pilot's chair, flight deck, gas mask, me, monitors, radio button, radio rungs, ship controls. Hopefully,
You can try
strapped,
push radio button. That gives some funny messages.
because you're submitting an online form.
You remember the harsh, clipped voice of the terrorist who used the call sign Mock Turtle. There's no way that you're going to imitate that voice and get away with it. The radio crackles. Looking Glass to all units. The code is Bravo Oscar. I repeat, the code is Bravo Oscar. We're pulling out. Follow the plan and keep it orderly.
Yeah, keep it orderly, terrorists. So hopefully I'm strapped into the chair. I'm still wearing a gas mask. Look at ship controls. Ah!
Okay, so type oops and then the word controls. The flight deck is filled with a bewildering variety of instruments and controls. The shipboard computers are working with the mission control systems to execute the auto launch. The radio crackles. Looking Glass to Griffin Leader. Blow Alice off the face of the Earth. I repeat, take out that damn rocket. In fact, blow the rest of your ordnance on the launch complex. Go for maximum effect. At least we can do some damage here. T-minus 13 minutes and counting. All gantry access arms except for the crew access arm are now retracting from the probe ship.
Now that's the kind of order I was looking for. Alright. Gantry access is pulling back in. Shipboard computers and working.
There's nothing left for you to do but wait.
Wait, okay. Just making sure. Let's pray.
You kneel and say, how do you kneel in this ship? Are you kneeling on the back of one of those chairs that are like, because it's like pointing up into the sky, right? So, okay.
Sorry.
Griffin Leader here, on our way, we'll rock and roll. Our chair here, moving out. Crew access arm will be retracted in 5 minutes. T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Probe ship booster engine start in 7 minutes. T-minus 9 minutes and counting. T-minus 8 minutes. T-minus 7, and so on. Power umbilical is released. Hull door is sealed.
Okay.
Crew access arm retracted. Gantry supports withdrawn from the base of the launch vehicle. All crew must be seated in flight deck acceleration couches. Liftoff is
Get in
imminent.
that couch. Hopefully I'm in the couch.
T-minus 4 minutes.
We'll have to be
I think
really
even
in it.
I think even if you're stupid and you remain just like standing there hanging on the ladder, it'll automatically say like you scrambled to get into the seat before the launch.
Time passes.
Here we go. Oh boy. You can hear and feel the dull thunder as the powerful rocket engines below you throttle up. The ship trembled for a moment as the booster engines build thrust, and then the ship starts moving. It rises from pad Tango 3 slowly at first and picking up speed. As the ship accelerates, a giant hand begins pressing you into your seat.
Giant hand begins pressing into my seat.
Yeah.
What?
The pressure builds as the ship's rate of acceleration increases. Soon the skin on your face is being forced back over the bones as you are subjected to the equivalent of 7 gravities. The brutal punishment continues for what seems like an eternity. You're barely conscious when the ship's computer announces booster separation.
This guy never
Rocket
rode a
engine.
roller coaster, did he?
The rocket engines stop, and there are 2 thumps as the boosters are kicked away from the probe ship by explosive charges. Your weight vanishes. You're in space!
Woo!
The view is breathtaking. The probe ship is angling across the magnificent blue curve of the Earth. You can see the rich blues of the oceans, the ochre of deserts. Wow, look at those pixels, man. Gorgeous.
I like
Puffy
my
white-
couches like I like my continents. Dithered.
Puffy.
Puffy white cumulus clouds.
There's a brief hiatus while the autonav systems compute the course of the artifact. Then the fusion torch ignites and the acceleration is back, this time at a manageable 1G. The probe ship makes one more orbit around the blue crescent of Earth, gaining altitude and preparing to head out to far reaches of the solar system. You rise from your seat and head back to the cabin. You flush the gas mask out of the ship, put the radio into the cabinet above the cryo capsule, and take some time to relax after your ordeal. Then you contact the corporation, tell them of your intention to complete the ambassador mission, and prepare the cryo capsule for use. There's nothing left to do but enter the cryosleep capsule for your 4-month trip to the artifact.
Alright, easy peasy.
You climb into the cold, high-tech coffin and drift into an uneasy slumber. Slumber turns into the deep trance of cryosleep, a state one small step above death. While you sleep, the probe ship rides a radiant blue plume of starfire. The methodical mind of the autonav system controls the ship's course as it speeds away from Earth and towards the mystery waiting for you outside the orbit of Pluto.
Way beyond Pluto. Yes, here we go.
Here we go. This is some full motion graphics. Neat.
Bless that CD-ROM.
Cool. You wake from the deep, dreamless cryosleep trance with the annoying chirp of the proximity alert in your ear. After pulling yourself out of the cryosleep capsule, you head for the flight deck.
Click.
You get to the flight deck, you shut down the alert and take stock of the situation. The probe ship is hanging in the majestic black void of deep space. According to the instruments, the ship has been decelerating for the last few days and has killed most of its motion relative to the Earth. You are 3,000 astronomical units, or 446 billion kilometers away from Earth. The space around you is empty, except for the object that triggered the proximity detector. It's dead ahead, a few hundred kilometers away. You ask the computer about the target. The answer makes you shiver. The object's 6 kilometers long, half a kilometer across at its widest point. It has a mass of more than 3 million tons. The shape is too regular for it to be a natural object. The thing is artificial, an artifact of some kind. The corporation was right. In the next few minutes, your ship approaches the artifact using the Hydrax maneuvering thrusters.
Ooh, delicious.
The thing is not only artificial, it's a starship. The starship is big as Gateway itself. The probe ship closes on the huge alien ship, preparing for a flyby at close range.
Go on, fly in.
It's gonna do that flight. Ooh. Wow.
I break for Ewoks. Well, my ship looks pretty big still compared to it.
Yeah, I don't think it's to scale. Before you can finish gawking at the mind-blowing starship, a lance of blue energy spears out from the aft section of the alien vessel. Why did they show us that in the cutscene?
They didn't have it in the budget for particle effects.
They couldn't afford a lance of blue energy. It connects with the probe ship and all your systems fail instantly. Screens go dark, instruments freeze. The protective filters over the flight deck windows activate automatically, blocking your view outside. Arcs of electricity play over the control console. There's a moment of silence and you're thrown backward by a violent jerk. The probe ship is being pulled towards the alien behemoth. You feel more than hear a subsonic rumble, which escalates until it becomes a bone-jarring vibration that shakes every corner of the ship.
Well, I'm glad I was able to arm myself with a piece of paper.
You sit in the darkness, eerie blue light playing over the screen as your craft is reeled in. Okay.
Alright, we're going in.
Vibration stops, thrusters are down, blah blah blah, docked, yeah, okay.
Show it or whatever. We got
Part
things.
two. Part two. The artifact. Final.
All right, part 2. Sounds good. All right, so let's save. This is part 2, and that's an hour 45 in. So I was thinking maybe take a little break, bathroom and snack break. I'll put us over on the intermission screen, and when we come back, Act 2, you're watching Dr. Fox's Bad at Video Games, featuring Dr. Cosmac helping Dr. Fox. We'll be back in a little bit.
Doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, this is fun.
All right, I'm gonna get something to eat.
I'm gonna leave this music to just keep everybody in the spirit.
What up? Is there anyone there? Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Getting some din-dins.
Hey, Cosmac.
Yo, what up? What up?
You hear me?
Yeah. Hello?
You hear me, Oz? Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been with a baby all day, and I'm a little tongue-tied.
How you doing?
Anyway, we will be back in a bit.
Righto.
Check 1 2.
Hello?
Hey, sorry about that. It was time to put the baby down to bed. So, got some hot dogs. All right, so
I got myself a bagel with some of that lox.
great. Delicious. So now I get to eat and play video games.
Cool.
All right, I see you.
Also got a cup of tea. But yeah, thinking of that ship with its tubes full of
Nice.
delicious smoked salmon just made me crave some.
Did it come in a tube?
No, it just came in a regular, package.
So I guess these aliens are real.
Tahichi.
Is it
Tahichi, yeah.
Is it them?
Well, we don't know. It's pulled us in. Wait, are you streaming?
I am. Yes, it's back up.
doesn't show that you are.
Let me see here. Ah, yeah, let me get that. That's the status window. Oh, hold on, I have to come out of this mode.
There it is. Time passes. Time passes. It's Saturday, 2:34 p.m., and you're well outside the orbit of Pluto. Okay, you're in the ship. Don't forget to take everything with you.
Whoop.
Huh, I heard that one.
Take everything.
Funny, I couldn't hear the music, but I heard the PC speaker.
I've got doesn't seem to be anything to take up in here.
Well, not that you can see right now. Restoring.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back. All right, so this is where I was. I spent an hour pretty much just waiting for something to happen, but okay.
No, nothing's gonna happen if you just stay in.
Open medikit cabinet. That was hard to spell.
You see a radio, a bandage, a hypo unit, an auto dock, and a vial.
Take everything.
Radio. You are 4 months and 446 billion kilometers away from the attack force of sect terrorists. You are on board an alien starship. You don't really have much need for a two-way battle radio, but you take everything else.
Got you. Inspect cryo capsule. You don't
I think you
need
can
the word
just
inspect.
examine it or look at it if you want to.
Make sure I didn't leave like a photo of my dog in there.
The probe ship cryogenic suspension capsule is a strange-looking device that resembles a high-tech sarcophagus. Better known by the names given to them by their users: freezers, coffins, morgue slabs, and popsicle makers. Unfortunately, all of these names seem
Green dial. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Dials.
Yeah, I think the green dial is part of the auto dock.
Examine auto
The readout is dark.
dock. Examine auto dock.
This is the auto dock cuff, a diagnostic computer that looks like a blood pressure cuff with a small digital readout. The readout's dark.
Okay. More.
It's like a little computer. You put it on somebody's wrist, and it'll tell you about what's ailing you.
Oh, for some reason, I got that halfway through when it said put the cuff on, but I thought auto dock as in like ship docking.
No, like a doctor. Like it's like a medical device.
Go out.
The hull door is closed.
In here and out there. So when I pressed that red button earlier, it cycled.
That's going to open the door. Yeah.
Okay, so
Hear a brief whine, and air is cycled. Chime sounds, and the door opens.
I just go.
Hey, you're not dead.
I was expecting that. I was expecting the eyeballs to be pulled from their sockets.
You peer out of the door. A meter below the threshold of the door, you see a glowing blue metal deck, part of a circular entrance that seems to be the alien equivalent of a jetway. The corridor is 10 meters long. One end connects to the hull door of your probe ship. The other end terminates in a heavy bulkhead. The walls of the corridor and the bulkhead seem to have an underlying structure of rectangular metal plates covered by clumps and veins of lumpy, melted-looking metal. Metal glows with a soft blue radiance that's bright enough to illuminate the corridor. A metal door is set into the bulkhead to the north. It's closed.
I took the auto dock with me. I've got the bandage. There's parts of that. Hypo toggle. Whole door. Whole door's on the probe ship.
Yeah, that's the door to your ship.
Corridor. I guess just move in. Just gotta do it.
You climb into the probe ship.
Oh, well, shit. Never mind then. Let's go back out. Corridor. So let me just, for all intensive purposes, check my map here. Corridor. Oh, wait. Where's the ship? Can you exit the ship?
It's to the south.
It's to the south? Okay. Is ahead of me always going to be north?
Not always, no.
Alright. The bulkhead door is closed. The metal door is set in the bulkhead to the north. It is closed. Okay, so I've got... The dials and the buttons are on the auto dock.
I think the button is actually part of the door.
Is it? Okay.
The blue button. 'Cause look,
I
it's in
see
the
it on
picture.
there. I see it in the picture. Okay.
The button's about 5 centimeters across, set in the bulkhead a few centimeters to the left of the door.
Push blue button.
You lean on the button, which gives way with a satisfying click. Ancient machinery grinds to life and the door slides open.
Alright. Go through the bulkhead doorway.
Another long corridor, illuminated by the diffuse blue light radiating from the wall, ceiling, and floor. The walls are covered with the same pattern of rectangular plates and organic-looking spidery veins of metal that you have seen before.
Alright. Have I seen it before?
Well, you saw it in the other corridor.
Okay, just continuing. Okay.
I don't think your character has seen this particular type of architecture before. Cargo bay. You're in a cavernous domed room, a vast cargo bay that is elliptical in shape. The half-mechanical, half-organic architecture of the race that built this ship is evident here. Covered with curvilinear melted patterns, the cargo bay walls are buttressed by heavy structural beams that arch up and converge on a strange egg-shaped pod directly overhead. A metal ladder leads up into the enclosure far above. Corridors lead off in several directions.
Alright, so... You can go every direction then.
And up.
And up. Excuse me. I guess, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
and
that
you can't go
line is-
southeast.
Well, I was like going up.
Storage room. You see, or what seems to be a small storage room inside the pod over the cargo bay. Even though the pod was egg-shaped from the outside, the walls inside are square and angular. A ladder leads down through an opening in the floor to the cargo bay below. Oh yeah, and you see a woman in a corporation uniform slumped against one of the metal walls. Near one wall is a blue metal box and an upended metal bowl.
Oh no! Diana Tolson. Speak to Diana Tolson.
You are unsure how to address the woman, so you look at the name tag on her uniform. Her name is Diana Tolson. Diana's oblivious to your presence, her body twitching and shuddering. She's in no condition to talk to you.
All right, well let's see this. Let's place auto dock.
I think you want to try put.
Put. Okay.
I don't think place is a verb that it knows.
Auto dock on Hopefully I can just do Diana.
Strap the auto dock cuff onto Diana. It beeps and the digital readout lights up with break reading letters and numbers.
Read. Auto dock. Readout.
Pulse 139, temperature 105.6, high fever. Blood pressure 170/130. Warning, toxin present, unorganic, possibly venom. 84.1% of fatal dose. White cell count very high, infection present.
Alright.
Diana twitches and shudders.
Examine hypo. Let's examine the unit first.
This is a multi-purpose hypodermic drug dispenser. It's a tapered metal cylinder about 15 centimeters long. On the side of the cylinder, you see a toggle switch, a blue dial, and a green dial. Both dials have a number of different settings. Glowing LED next to the blue dial is displaying the following information. Drug selected, insulin. Dosage selected, 0. Quantity remaining, 5.
Huh.
Diana's hands spasm uncontrollably.
Alright, so a blue dial and a green dial. Okay, so let's use hypo toggle. Or maybe flip hypo toggle.
The dosage dial is set to 0. You cannot prime the hypo for use unless you select a dosage level greater than 0.
Okay. Should I turn blue dial?
Try setting the dial to a number, or to the medication you want.
Set blue dial to 1.
You turn the medication dial to 1, the setting for adrenaline.
Set blue dial to 2.
Turn the blue dial to 2, the setting for anti...
Okay, flip toggle switch.
The dosage dial is set to 0. You cannot prime the hypo unless you select a dosage greater than 0.
Turn blue dial to 5.
You turn the medication dial to 5, the setting for tissue regeneration.
Oh man. Well, okay, blue is the medication dial. Oh man, I was doing that earlier. Oh my god. Alright, let's back up. Go back to the corridor.
I think if you look at the dial, it will tell you what the
Tell
option...
me what it is. Alright, so let's go up. Alright, so it's, did we say place?
Put auto dock...
Or put auto...
Yeah, it doesn't know the word place
on Diana.
as a verb.
Okay. Strapped it on. Read auto dock readout. Well, we know what's happening, but let's just make sure. Okay.
So she's got a high temperature, some kind of toxin, and a high white cell count, so there's an infection as well.
Read blue.
So she's got a toxin and an infection.
Alright, so
Above the blue dial is the word medication. There's several settings. You got insulin, adrenaline, antiviral, antibiotic, antitoxin, tissue regenerator, and sedative.
2.
Set it to antiviral.
Read green dial.
Above the green dial is the word dosage. The dial has several settings.
Set green dial to 5.
Turn the dial to the maximum setting for 1 cc.
Okay, and read hypo toggle.
Do a small toggle switch set into the word, set into the side of the hypo. Above the toggle switch is the word prime.
Do I prime? I guess I could flip hypo toggle.
Flip the toggle switch. A tiny diode on the switch lights up and starts flashing bright red. A moment later, you hear an almost imperceptible whine and a needle emerges from the front of the hypo.
Alright, so I'm going to
The woman's body is racked by convulsion.
use hypo needle on Diana. Please say that another way or try something else.
You can try inject Diana, maybe.
Inject. Maybe just inject Diana. Before you inject the woman you've never seen before, you take a look at her name. All right.
Yeah, you didn't look at her name even. You monster. You're injecting
directly
shit into
Diana's bloodstream. When you pull the hypo away, you see the needle remains deployed,
Yep.
ready for another injection. All right, and so she had that, and she had an infection. So
She had an infection and a toxin.
all right, so it was. Can I page? I can't page up and down. I have to basically.
No.
I do have to read this shit. So read green dial, right? Or was it blue dial? Blue dial.
Diana twitches and shudders.
Set blue dial to 3.
Set the medication dial to antibiotics.
All right, and there is 6.5 cc of the drug available for the used hypo. Oh man.
Well, that was on the other drug. That was on antiviral.
Okay.
She doesn't have a virus, though. So that's not going to do anything.
An antibiotic. No. Oh well, yeah. So. Well, what would she need then?
Well, she has an infection and she has some kind of venom.
Well, I gave her an
So-
antitoxin.
No, you
Didn't I? No, I gave her.
You gave her an
Oh my
antiviral.
god! Ah, fuck it. Fuck it. And I bet you. Hold on. Let's try this. Let's try this. Read blue. Read blue dial. Okay. So an antitoxin. Set blue dial to 4. All right.
turn the dial to antitoxin.
All right. Setting for that. Okay, so read hypo unit. 7.5
Just describes
cc's
it.
of antitoxin left. So I'm okay. I could give her a full cc. I don't know the doses to give her though.
Well, you could. Well, I'll let you figure this out.
I feel like I'm gonna have to use this thing throughout the game to cure myself and other people, and that I
You
might
do use it again after this, but only once, I think.
Okay. Let me bait. Let me get my antitoxins. Alright, so set green dial.
You just said set twice.
God damn it. Alright.
Set the green dial to max 1 cc. Flip the toggle switch and the needle pops out of the front.
I'm coming, Diana. You know what? At this point, Diana, you're getting it.
You inject Diana.
Alright.
It might be helpful if you had the diagnostic computer attached to her.
Oh yeah. Alright. Toxin levels
Got it,
decline rapidly. The new reading is 33.4%. Alright, so
She was at like 81%, I believe. So it's working.
maybe get anything else. It's working. Okay.
It's
Got a high fever.
it's down to 10%. The greenish cast fades from her skin, leaving it red and flushed. Her eyes open partway, but they look lost and feverish. Scorpions, a giant spider, she says brightly, and then begins muttering deliriously to herself.
Okay. So she had that.
It looks like you dealt with the toxins.
Now what did
It
she?
said the toxin reading declined to 10%.
Did she have an?
She looked-
Did she have an infection?
Yes, it says white cell count very high.
Okay.
Infection present.
All right. So we want an antibiotic. Set blue dial to 3. All right.
You turn the dial to the setting for antidiabetic.
Flip, toggle, switch.
The needle retracts, and the red diode stops flashing. The needle comes out with an almost imperceptible whine. Diana cowers against the wall, whimpering about furry insects with teeth.
You know what? Set blue dial to 6.
You set the blue medication dial to 6, the setting for sedative.
Inject Diana.
You press the hypo against Diana's neck. You pull the hypo away, the needle remains deployed. Diana screams, "Jack, no, don't do it!" She succumbs to the effects of the sedative and lapses into unconsciousness.
Alright, and now let's set blue dial to 3.
You set the blue dial to antibiotic.
Flip, toggle, switch.
The needle retracts with a mechanical click.
Toggle, switch.
The needle emerges from the front of the hypo.
Inject Diana.
The autodoc beeps and the display flickers as the temperature reading declines and the white cell count falls. The new temperature reading is 103.6.
Alright, so now let's read blue dial. Alright, tissue.
The autodoc beeps. The new temperature reading is 101.7.
Examine Diana.
Corporation uniform is ripped and tattered around her lower legs, where there is evidence of violent injury in the form of dried blood and some angry-looking wounds. The temperature reading falls to 99.9. She still has a fever.
Bandage. She still has a fever, but it's coming down. Or yeah, it's coming.
It seems to be.
Yeah, okay. Use bandage on Diana. Place wrap bandage on Diana. You don't need to use the word wrap.
You could just do put bandage on Diana.
Put bandage on Diana.
You misspelled it. Type oops. Yeah. Put the bandage on Diana.
Set blue dial to 5. And can I just kind of, do I have to toggle it?
No, it stays out if
Okay.
you don't flip it off. It's like an on-off switch. Okay, you injected her with tissue regenerator.
Okay. And so it's read auto dock.
Temperature, 98.6, normal. Pulse, normal. But she's still asleep because you sedated her.
Yes.
So she seems to be okay now.
Okie dokie. We've done it. Hopefully. Alright, so flip switch. I was thinking that it would have to pull the needle in and get the drug and come back out.
No. It just
I
turns
read
it on
into
and
it sometimes, you know. That's what you get for assuming, you know. Alright, so I pulled the needle back in, so I don't stab myself. Talk to Diana.
Diana is slumped against the wall, unconscious. She's in no condition to talk to you.
Okay, so okay.
You just injected her with a maximum dose of sedative, dude.
So read
She's gonna be out for a while.
read blue dial. Set blue dial.
No,
to-
don't do this.
Don't
do this.
Don't do this.
What's wrong with you?
I want to talk to her. I want to make sure she's okay.
I don't think this is gonna help. You're gonna end up killing her or something. It's
You
horrible.
think so? Okay, let's look at metal bowl.
Metal bowl is about 15 centimeters wide. It's made of silver metal that looks like it's from Earth.
Let's go ahead and take everything.
You take the metal bowl, the bandage, and the auto dock.
All right.
You took the bandage off.
Ah! I did.
You asshole.
Well, hold on. Examine.
It's like, here, let me tend to your wounds. No, wait, I need that bandage. Forget it.
The skin underneath is healthy and pink.
Yep, the tissue regenerator worked.
Hooray! So yeah, everything worked. I'll take my disgusting bandage back.
So I guess if you just hang around here and wait for long enough, she'll come around. They're not on any kind of time limit right now, so. Assuming you want to talk to her right now, you could also go exploring a little bit.
Pray for Diane.
I don't think you can pray for things. You think you just pray generally.
Right, so let's go. Okay. So, let's save this. This is corridor Diana sleep.
Sure.
It's the hot dog song. Alright, so I've got my tuning fork. Let's go north.
Yeah, you're not gonna need that for a while.
In the central corridor. The nozzle.
You are in another long circular corridor that runs north to south. Hanging from the ceiling of the corridor is a sensor of some kind. It looks like a malevolent eye. A black band scans back and forth like a mechanical pupil.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned about malevolent eyes is that they're usually up to no good. Okay, well, let's examine eye.
The sensor eye hangs from the ceiling on a snake-like cable. The black pupil scans back and forth.
Oh no.
A section of the corridor wall iris is open. You hear a strange click-clack coming from inside the opening. The sound of metal claws on the surface of the deck. Seconds later, an enormous hulking robot fills the corridor. He walks on 8 articulated metal legs that move with a kind of fluidity and grace you wouldn't associate with a machine of that size. The monstrous alien robot turns to face you, then stops.
Huh. Well, let's talk to robot.
You can't talk to a giant robot. The robot makes whirring and chirping noises for a brief moment, and then sprouts 4 articulated arms. 2 of the arms end in grasping claws that extend in your direction, opening and closing in a slow, measured way. The other 2 end in a nightmarish collection of needles, probes, and rotating cutting tools. Once the robot has deployed all of this formidable hardware, it begins moving towards you, its metal feet click-clacking along the deck.
Okay, well, let's try moving south.
The robot begins to follow you, but stops at the threshold of the corridor. You are safe from the mechanical monster.
Okay, so I'm hoping that it's not going to come in here. Let's check on Lady D.
You climb up to the egg-shaped metal pod. You see a blue box and Diana Tolson here.
Her eyes are still closed, so
Diana is unconscious, no condition to talk to you.
Alright, let's head west. No eyeballs here.
Another glowing blue corridor that runs east to west.
Okay.
Dream room. This room is all swirls, curves, coils, and curvilinear patterns. In shape, it is a smaller, more circular version of the huge cargo bay to the east. The room is dominated by a large metal couch that extends from one of the walls. Poised somewhat threateningly over the couch is an articulated metal arm that's covered with wires and machinery. The arm ends in a round bulb that hovers a meter or so above the raised part of the couch.
Yeah. You always gotta make sure. And then I can only go east. So it's back out. Well, before I do that then, let's head back out. And head back to the corridor. Alright. So I'm pretty sure I came from the south, right? So let me check my map.
Yep.
All right, I'll go with you then. East. All right. Another blue corridor running east.
Terminal room. You're in a small 8-sided room that's all straight lines and sharp angles. There's very little evidence of the curvy linear patterns that are so pronounced elsewhere on the ship. Walls and the ceiling are covered with screens, lights, and mysterious controls. An uncomfortable-looking chair sits in front of a console. On the console is a main display screen and a keypad of some kind. Under the screen is an access panel. The exit is to the west.
All right, so back the way I came. So let's sit in chair.
You're now on the chair.
Okay. Examine the chair. All right.
An uncomfortable-looking chair.
Okay. Let's read. Is there screens? Read main screen.
Screen's dark. Yeah.
Examine. There are buttons and stuff. What we got? Access panel. Examine. Access panel.
Access panel underneath the terminal is about 1/3 of a meter on each side. The panel's closed.
Access panel.
You pull on the access panel, it slides open, revealing an intricate tracery of crystal fibers and pathways that emit a faint green light. In the center of the delicate crystal matrix is a jack or connector of some kind.
Okay, well, I don't think I have anything here. Crystal matrix. Okay. In there. In the terminal room. Blah, 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 blah. Access panel.
Yeah, you need something else here, I think.
Alright, and I more than likely don't have it now.
I don't think you have it yet, no.
Okay.
I'm looking at the nouns and it doesn't look like you have it.
Okay, let's move west. Let's head back to the dream room.
Yeah, I don't think you can do anything there right now, actually. You can mess with it and look at stuff, but I don't think there's anything you can do with it.
Okay, let's just check. Sit on blue couch.
You lie on the metal couch. It's cold and uncomfortable.
Ugh, that scared me. Can I sleep? I've got so.
Well, you've got so many important things to accomplish. Yeah.
Okay. So all I've got is this metal bowl. Examine articulated arm.
The articulated arm is thick, almost like a metal trunk, where it comes out of the ceiling of the domed room. It's covered with red wires and its joints bend so that the end of the arm is positioned over the raised end of the couch.
Nothing about red wires. Alright, so I guess maybe head east again. Head back up. Is that robot still there?
I believe it will show up, whenever you go into the middle corridor, the north-south corridor.
Ain't having it. Alright.
And it definitely will kill you.
I had a feeling.
You see a blue box and Diana Tolson here.
Open blue box. Hey,
Blue box, you see a crystal rod.
Take
Nice.
rod. Okay.
Take the rod out of the box.
Go down. East. East.
Okay, you're back in the terminal room.
Okay. Place crystal rod in crystal matrix.
Almost, but not quite. You can't put the rod in the matrix. Wrong crystal thing.
Getting close though. Examine crystal rod.
Crystal rod's about 20 centimeters long and 2 centimeters in diameter. Its surface is awash in cloudy patterns of red glowing light.
Am I wasting time here? Examine console. Small access.
Computer terminal, yeah.
And the panel's a delicate crystal matrix. Tell me more about that crystal matrix one more time. What was it?
Behind the access panel is a recessed enclosure filled with a delicate tracery of flowing crystal
Nectar
pathways.
of some.
Middle of the crystal matrix is an empty receptor for a connector of some kind.
Okay. Interesting.
Something plugs in here.
But nothing that I would have now.
Nothing that you have yet, I don't
Okay.
think, no.
No tuning fork.
No, the tuning fork is totally useless at this juncture. Yeah, I think you need Diana to wake up to be able to progress, actually. So you might have to just go there and wait for a while until the sedatives wear off.
I gave her a bunch.
You sure did. Knocked her the fuck out. You didn't have to do that, by the way. I don't think the game gives you points for using the sedatives. Or, indeed, for putting the bandage on her or giving her the tissue regenerator.
Well, did I get any points for taking my bandage back, though?
No, you don't. I think it only gives you points for... I think it only gives you points for giving her the antitoxin and the antibiotic.
Okay.
It's kind of weird.
Can I hug Diana? Yes.
Her skin is warm but dry. Ew, that's creepy, dude. She's like unconscious. What the fuck?
Just checking on her.
That's not right, man.
There's a ladder down, metal bowl, slip of paper, storage room, tuning fork, vial. What's the vial from? The med kit? Examine vial.
It's a vial made of glass. There's some clear fluid inside. It reads alcohol C2, Bristol Johnson Incorporated. Alcohol plus C2 disinfectant. Warning, contents are extremely flammable. Keep away from fire.
Oh, wow. I wonder whatever I could use that for. Wake up, Diana.
You shake her gently, trying to bring her around to consciousness. It doesn't seem to have any effect. I think you just have to wait. She's drugged.
There we go.
Diana's eyes flutter as she comes out of drug-induced sleep. What happened? She asks groggily. Well,
nothing.
I saved you, and then I gave you a hug. Diana shakes her head and slowly gets on her feet. As she stands up, you see a green crystal cube on the deck that had been previously covered up by her body. Diana notices you for the first time and looks at you blankly for a second, then her eyes widen. My God, you're human! You smile at her and nod. She stares at you and shakes her head sadly. I'm glad to see you, but I also feel sorry for you. You're just another fly caught in the web. Believe me, the analogy is a good one. I assume you're from Gateway. That's where Jack and I came from. I'm afraid you won't get to meet Jack. He was my partner, but now he's dead.
He dead.
Jack and I recruited a processing ship from Gateway. Our ship came out of Tau space next to this enormous artifact, and Jack and I had the same reaction. We're rich. We kept thinking that as the tractor beam locked on and pulled us in. We were deliriously, gloriously happy until we realized the controls on our ships had got dead, and there was no way out of this thing. Plenty of food and water. The dispenser down one of the corridors spits out Chan food. If you're wondering how she eats and breathes, and other science facts, tasteless but quite nutritious, survival would be a problem if the ship, or whatever it is, weren't haunted by the spider. Along came a spider and sat down beside her. It's horrible. I think it's some kind of robot or Waldo unit. I know it isn't organic. Spider robot lives in the central corridors. The corridors that link the forward section of the vessel with the part. It only appears with their sensor eyes hanging from the roof. I think itself is blind, but it somehow uses those external sensors to see. Jack and I spent a number of months on board this ship, and we avoided the spider and stayed alive. Then we got cocky and our luck ran out.
Well, it wasn't luck that was keeping you alive. You were just avoiding the spider.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
We were exploring the front of the ship, and we got trapped. The spider came. It attacked him first. It cut the top of his head off. Then it stuck these probe things into his open skull, almost like it was drinking. When it finished and started after me, I ran away. It was awful. Anyway, now you're caught in the web too. I can fill you in on the tricks of surviving here and tell you as much as I know about this place. Diana smiles gently and touches your sleeve.
Oh boy.
And thank you for bringing me back. I think I was pretty close to dying.
Oh yeah. It was my love that saved you.
What is she wearing?
A cyberpunk raincoat.
What is that? Look at it.
It's just loose enough. You recover the green crystal cube from where Diana had been lying on it. Diana smiles at you. All right. It looks like we can start asking questions. Hopefully ask Diana.
I think you can talk to Diana, or you can ask her about specific things. This book.
Crystal cube. Oh,
Oh yeah,
okay.
it just takes you to talk to Diana.
Okay. Well, how are you feeling?
Feeling a whole lot better than I was. If you hadn't come along when you did, I'd be dead. It's hard to believe. Jack and I didn't see another soul for months, and yet you show up just in time to stop me from dying.
You're
That's
welcome.
convenient.
You're welcome. How did you get injured?
Jack and I were exploring one of the zoo environments toward the front of the ship. The zoo was a barren, awful place full of stinging insect things. We got bitten and stung and decided to return to the aft part of the ship. When we went into the main corridor, the spider robot appeared out of one of the corridor walls and began moving towards us. Like I told you before, it isn't friendly, it's a mechanical nightmare. Back when we arrived, Jack and I had seen the robot prowling the central corridors, where the sensors are. We'd always been able to avoid it. Then it went away for an extended period of time. We got cocky and took advantage of its absence to go exploring.
Click.
Well, the robot hadn't actually gone away. It was lying in wait. We were right outside the insect zoo when it cornered us. Jack and I ran into the zoo, but we were trapped. We kept getting stung, and the venom built up until we were delirious. Finally, we decided we have to take our chances with the robot. It attacked us. It got Jack. It was trying to stop the ship, etc., etc.
And that's
Getting in and out of conscious, bleeding from leg wounds.
Can we talk further?
Sure.
Alright, so here's everything I need to know.
What are the zoos? Jack and I speculated this ship is actually some kind of Heechee exobiology vessel. It wanders from star system to star system, searching for life-bearing planets, and collects samples of their flora and fauna. The ship is filled with specimens gathered during its collection efforts. The specimens are kept in cleverly created reproductions of the native environments, not like zoos or wildlife parks.
Gotcha. Dark Star 3000. Okay. Tell me about the green cube.
Jack and I found the green cube in the central corridor during our exploration of the forward section of the ship, near an area that was covered with what I think looked like dried blood. Another prospector was attacked by the robot and dropped the cube. I haven't had a chance to see how it might help me. Feel free to take it with you if you go exploring.
So other people might have been around here. How do I get
Before,
into
yeah.
the zoos?
Well, there's a couple steps. You need to find the portal key, a glowing red crystal rod that should be in the box on the floor there. Feel free to borrow it. I'm not going anywhere for a while. I'll stay here and recover.
The second is to
So-
the ship central corridor. Okay.
Go to the northeast. Jack and I went up the central corridor. It's a dangerous route. The spider rabbit lives there. The other path to the northeast is easier, but you'll need the combination of the lock on the bulkhead door. I don't know the combination.
Okay. Tell me about the bolt. Use the bolt.
I use the bowl to carry water. You know.
Fine. Tell me about Jack. Oh, nice guy. Nice
He's
guy.
a great guy. Yeah,
thank
nice
you.
guy.
Look, she's got a
Done
completely
chatting.
different outfit on now too.
No, it's the same. It's just it's missing those weird, like webbing or whatever in the front. It's the same weird jacket.
All right, so we've got all of this, and so, goddamn, some of that flashed by me.
So you want to start making your way towards the front of the ship through the zoos, but she doesn't know the code to the zoo.
Okay.
But you have a green cube.
Well, let's check that out then. All right. Place green cube in crystal matrix.
The 3 pins on the back of the cube fit neatly into the plug receptor on the crystal matrix. The instant the cube is seated, bright pulses of green light flow along the crystal pathways of the matrix. They flow from the sides to the middle, converging on the cube. They all arrive simultaneously, and the cube shimmers and glows as vibrant green light dances inside it.
Hooray.
A few seconds later, you hear a whir and a series of clicks. All of the secondary display screens right around you come to life. The lights set into the ceiling begin to glow.
Look at them go. Yeah.
Cool. The main display screen on the console comes to life with a swirling pattern of hexagonal shapes. They're soon replaced by an animated graphic of two intertwined spinning hoops. The computer, if that's what this thing is, seems ready for business.
Okay, Windows has loaded.
The terminal room feels electric and alive, almost like there's a sentient presence. Spinning patterns as you move across the main screen. Your score has just gone up by 15.
Sit in chair. It is uncomfortable.
You're on the chair. It is uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You look closely at the screen. You see a strange graphical pattern there, an image that looks like an intertwined set of spinning hoops. Curious, you look down at the keypad and press the first button.
Oh, of course.
Because why wouldn't you? Much to your surprise, the console hums and an image of a Japanese woman replaces the spinning graphics. Yet more evidence of human contact on an alien artifact 446 billion kilometers from Earth. This is very strange. A soft, listening voice comes from the console. Hello, Senpai. It is nice to talk to someone who is outside. Stare at the screen. Who are you? What are you? You ask the console, feeling somewhat foolish. A ghostly woman seems to hear your voice. She smiles slightly and answers your question. My name is Miki Akiro. I am or was a gateway prospector, and I got trapped here on my 4th mission. I'm originally from Osaka, but I lived in Los Angeles for 6 years while I worked as a cyberneticist for Terra9. I got bored of the quest to build a better AI, so I took my retirement savings, bought a ticket for Gateway and shipped. The second question is not so easy. What am I? I think I'm a digitized version of the Miki Akira that was killed by a robot aboard a derelict Tishi's starship. Miki died, but the intelligence that runs the ship scanned her brain patterns and created me. I am a computer program, a collection of software and firmware that duplicates some of the thought processes, emotions, and memories of the woman that was Miki Akira. I have no body, I exist inside a computer maker.
Got you in a cube. I got a Japanese waifu in a cube.
In a cube. Yep.
All right.
There's like a
What
million
are you
things you can talk
doing in
about.
there?
I'm not doing anything at the moment other than talking to you. As to the underlying question of why I'm in the computer, I think the answer has to do with the curiosity of the intelligence that runs the ship. It wanted to study me, and it felt the best way to collect information was to kill me and extract my brain patterns. I didn't have much choice in the matter.
Yeah, tell me more. Did it suck your brain out?
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, pretty much. Went to Gateway, found this artifact, got in there, met the spider. Yeah. Spider's a very sophisticated robot. It serves as the arms and legs of the oldest one, which is the intelligence that lives in the central computer and runs the ship. If it catches you, it'll do you what it did to me. After studying it for time, I thought I figured out a way to disable it. It caught me. My last memory as a human being is of a shiny saw blade on a metal arm cutting into my head. It was very painful. What followed was even worse. I was reborn as an electronic being, but not complete. The Hichi haven't mapped human brain function very well. I'm a ghost more than anything else.
Let's see here. Tell me how to get out of here.
I think your best bet is to fly the vessel back to Earth. You need to defeat the intelligence that runs the ship, reach the control center in the forward section, and program the navigational systems with the course code for Earth. I've developed a plan for doing this, and I believe I've succeeded in shielding my plan from the entity that lives in the computer.
Oh, great. Okay.
During the times that the ship's computer keeps me activated, I've been able to learn a fair amount about the ship. Navigation systems that control the star drive are located all the way forward, beyond the science sections and labs in the midsection. Near the ship's control center is the main computer room, a redundant array of 4 massive computer systems. You need to get to the forward part of the ship, shut down the elements of the computer system that are home to the intelligence. To get to the front, you should go through the zoo sections on the right side of the ship. That path has some risk, but it's better bet than taking on the spider robot.
There's a better bet.
When you get to computer rooms, you need to find the cores that are the same color as the core used to activate me. I believe the correct color is green. Pull all the green cores out of the computer. This will knock out the high-level functions of the computer while leaving the lower-level maintenance and operations alone. The core that you plugged into the computer in this room activates the matrix that serves as my home. Leave it plugged in. I may be able to help you in your battle with the oldest one, the entity that lives inside the computer. I can also help you figure out how to program the ship's navigation system so that we can fly home.
Alright. I don't want to be mean. Alright, so home. Oh, come on, spin the rings. Yeah! Are these the other buttons?
Yeah. An image of an Asian man appears on the screen. He begins spewing Japanese or Chinese. Unfortunately, you can't understand a word he's saying. You disconnect after a few moments of embarrassed silence. The image of an Arab man fades in on the screen. He looks momentarily surprised, and then he speaks. His cross-clipped voice rasps out from the console. Who are you? Why have you activated me?
There's a bunch of spider brains in here.
I am Anwar al-Hassan. I am from Al-Khazar in Egypt.
What's your story?
I arrived on this ship after a 1-month trip on a Hishi scout ship from Gateway. Immediately after boarding this vessel, I was attacked by a machine of some kind. I was armed with a laser weapon I had procured from a Brazilian Marine, and I fired on the machine. I believe I blinded it, but it still overpowered me and destroyed my weapon. I awoke in here. I don't know what I am or what I have done.
How did you blind the robot?
The gun was a Saratov 10 megawatt portable laser. It fires a continuous beam of coherent light and had to be held on the target to have a real effect. And I figured that the most sensitive area on the robot was the cluster of sensors it was using to see. When I fired, I held the beam on the sensors while the thing continued to advance. Eventually it paused as if it lost its bearings. I went into a kind of random search pattern. I tried to sneak past it, but it still caught me.
Alright. Gotta go, Anwar.
The connection is cut with a click.
So I feel like I could probably go through all of these buttons and there's gonna be something.
The image of a man in his mid-30s appears on the screen. The man shakes his head as if to clear it, and then seems to notice you. A clear voice comes from the console. Hello out there. I figured somebody would come along sooner or later.
Oh man. Oh, I'll catch up. I'll catch up with him in a minute. Alright. Because we're hitting the 3-hour mark. I'm starting
Pick it up later.
Starting to wind down, yeah. But that's into Act 2, and we've made a couple of points. Let's see here. So we'll save this.
What's your score?
Is terminal. How do I check my score? Is it?
If you just type score.
See where we're at.
It should tell you.
210 out of 1600. Wow. So I take it this isn't like something in. We're in part 2, right?
Yeah.
A part 2 of Act 1.
No, out of like maybe 7 or 8.
7 or 8. So we've got a ways to go on this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about as far as I can get right now. But yeah, we can continue the epic saga. Shoot, we can do it tomorrow.
Sure, why not?
Oh man, it's been a day.
It has.
Well, that was.
You really want to quit?
Do I? Oh man. Oh, my eyes. Wow. Let me just reset them there for a second. Well, that was pretty cool. I like that. I hadn't played a game like that in a while, and it was any game like that I played where you put in commands and stuff. I remember there were like the Hugo games and stuff like that where you would move a guy around on the screen and stuff like that. And so,
well, that was like the weird Sierra intermediate thing where it was like partly a graphic adventure, but you also type shit as well.
Yeah.
Like King's Quest had that.
King's Quest, yeah, that was good. And yeah, some of the Hugo games that I had, like Hugo's House of Horrors and Lost in the Jungle of Murder or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that one.
Those were fun. I enjoyed those. I think there were like three of those. But for the most part, yeah, like LucasArts.
Hugo
games
was
and
like a
stuff
really
that.
cheap. Hugo was like a cheap ripoff of the Sierra games.
Yeah, it was.
They were even less forgiving and even more murderous.
They were treacherous. You could die very easily in a Hugo game.
I think there were only like 2 or 3 of them, right?
2 or 3. I think they started on a 4th one, but I don't think it ever got finished. But it was, yeah. That's so. Yeah, the last game I played like that, it was actually it was a modern game, and it was made about 10 years ago, and it was like a cyberpunk story and something like that. But,
A text adventure?
Yeah, it was a text adventure with a couple of pictures and music and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of it though, but I think I got it off of Humble Bundle or something like that. So I'd have to look into that.
Interesting.
But that was fun. It's got me
Pretty good.
excited. I want to see what's going on. So yeah, I would hope that if it's got like 6 or 7 parts and we got through like a part and a half or so today, like 210 points out of 1,600. I mean, yeah, and I imagine later on, there will be a good couple like 100-point chunks. I'm sure they'll show up.
Yeah.
And then make it out. But
yeah, so it's about I'd say we're about maybe a quarter the way through it.
Yeah, all right. I picked what is today? Is today Thursday? I don't know what day it is.
It's Thursday.
All right. Well, we'll set something up. Gonna go ahead and sign off. So thanks for watching. I'm Bad at Video Games. I'm Dr. Fox. Dr. Cosmac has been our narrator and provider of today's content. So thank you, Dr. Cosmac.
Very welcome.
All right. So go ahead and put a couple of the credits up there.